Good morning, Tradeify Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tradeify TV. It is Monday, June 23rd, 2025. It is 60 minutes before the New York Open, which means it's time for us to get you ready for your trading day. I guess, I don't know, kind of an uneventful weekend. Not much goes on in the national news. Just nothing to talk about. I don't, Nick, Mr. YT himself, Swiss Nick here. Nick, I don't know. Do we have anything to talk about on today's show?
No, nothing happened on the weekend. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
just a
regular
normal
big
weekend.
weekend for the US. I mean, nothing Trump related at all. So it's normal stuff, you know. No, we're for sure going to dive into that today. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mac. Good morning, Mariam. Good morning, chat. Happy to be here. Happy to start off a new week with a good trading today. And yeah, obviously, as usual, the word goes to the one and only now. Again, curly, not straight hair, much a mommy.
I switched it up on you guys. I had my alter ego on the stream last week. So I hope you guys got enough of her because the bitch is back. So I hope you guys are ready for it. But we are so glad you guys are joining us today. Happy Monday to everyone that is joining us from all parts of the world. We got a great stream for you guys today. Yeah, definitely a lot to dive into what happened over the weekend and how we're going to be trading this very, very interesting market that we are in. I thought the chaos last week was over, but doesn't seem like it, guys. So Matt, why don't we get into it? But before we do that, I just want to make a quick announcement that we do have a guest coming on today in about let's say less than 40 minutes. Okay, so it's coming on quick, but we have our first ever live trader on Tradeify in general, not Tradeify TV, but coming on Tradeify TV today. That's going to be talking to you guys about his experience, how he became a live funded trader, how he built this system that he is now very profitable with. So make sure that you guys tune in because take some notes. This one's a good one. So we got that coming on later today.
Absolutely.
Mariam, that guy's not just a live trader. He is literally top 7 on the Tradeify leaderboard. So he's a good one.
Oh yeah.
Over $128,000 of profit so far this year for Victor, who will be, again, joining us probably in the next 30 to 40 minutes. So once he's coming on, we will let you know. But, guys, yeah, we do have to get into the news of the weekend, of the day. So over the weekend, the United States bombed the Iran nuclear facilities. Again, it depends on where you get your news as to how effective the attacks were, et cetera, et cetera. I think, Nick, you and I were talking a little bit before the show. If this is it, right? Like, so we us over here, we bombed Iran. If there's no other escalation, Iran, I don't know, maybe they hit an old train depot or something just to pretend like they struck back. This would end up probably being filed away like a lot of, things that we've done over there over the past 20 years or so. However, if Iran retaliates, if Russia gets involved as well, if this turns into yet another proxy war, it's gonna, either way, it's gonna have a huge effect on the markets. So it's something that, again, as traders, we want to be technical analysts. We don't want to get too bogged down in the fundamentals in the news. But this is obviously, if this is news on a scale of 1 to 10, potential war, it's about a 12, right? So we do have to stay attuned to that. Now, again, this happened over the weekend. What was it? Saturday night, the president made a live address to the nation, but he has not done any public events or taken any Q&A since then. We expect if he has a public schedule today, which again, according to the newsfeed, has not been put out yet. If there's any media, then that could be something to watch. Also, as it turns into night over there on the other side of the world, will we see more attacks or more? Again, we don't know. But this is, guys, from, we're not political pundits, nor are we, geopolitics experts. We're traders. But this is obviously going to have a huge effect on the markets in general, one way or the other, even if it's just the uncertainty of what's coming next. But it is something to keep an eye on. And if, obviously between all the time zones, this is going to be a 24-hour news thing. We're entering into daytime in the States. So President Trump could be making statements, taking questions, whatever. Of course, then we roll over. We get to hear from Vlad the Impaler over there in Russia. And then we'll potentially hear from Iran, Israel, the other people involved in all this. So Guys, it's a constantly moving situation, a lot of moving parts involved. And then we turn around, we have Chairman Powell testifying in front of Congress the next couple of days. The president has been very strongly against his monetary policy so far, which means we can expect the president's proxies in Congress to really go pretty hard at Jay Powell. So we'll see what, if any, news sort of comes from there. So we, Miriam, we got a lot that we're keeping an eye on this week. It's a lot of chaos. But ultimately, it's just about protecting our capital, as we always do. It's about, having smart position sizes and see green, take green.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is something we preach all the time to you guys, especially in the markets that we've been in. We had quite the interesting week last week with the contract rollovers. We had quadruple witching on Friday. We had all sorts of things going on, and so last week was definitely a week to test your discipline and your patience as a trader. And I mean, really, every week as a trader is like that. But there are weeks that are there are certain trades that you want to put on risk and you should be comfortable putting on risk, and there are other times that you should be a little bit more weary of that. So this is definitely the week to also just keep your head on a swivel, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. There's lots of things coming out, with oil prices skyrocketing, with obviously this geopolitical tension going on. There's always a reason to make sure that you are aware of what's happening and aware of your risk as a trader. Always make sure that you are aware of how much you're risking, right? Like there's so much psychology that goes into becoming a better trader and making sure that you are positioned for the long term. And that's why I'm super excited for today's guest as well to kind of go over that and how his journey has been, especially in these markets. So make sure you are tuned in for that. But Nick, why don't you go over kind of what we're seeing here in the session? And I hear that you did take a trade in the London session. So why don't we go over that?
Let's do it. Before I do though, guys, obviously, as usual, we're going to have some sick giveaways today. So stay tuned for that too. And make sure that you like the stream right now, because I think the first one we're going to do once we're at like 200 likes. So make sure to smash that like button like right now. It takes you 1 second to do. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's get right into the overnight session. So obviously, something that we can all spot as traders, right, was this huge gap down here. I mean, we closed Friday, 5 p.m. at, what was that, 21,872. And then we opened back up like 300 points lower. So we had a huge gap down, which throughout the Asian session and the London session has been filled, right? It was pretty much filled at 3:30 in the morning. I caught a nice chunk of that. I'll break down my trade later. But basically, what I'm looking for, well, actually, you know what? I'll break down the trade now, and then we're going to go into what I'm looking for the rest of the day. So I took a bull flag, as usual. We had this nice push. Again, we're sitting at 3 a.m. open, which is the London session open. That happened pretty much, where is it? Here. That was 3 a.m. That was the wrong shortcut. There we go. So 3 a.m. is the red line. We had a straight push to the upside, came right back down. I didn't take anything off that. But then market pretty much stayed above this. I have a 50 EMA that I have on the 1 minute chart. And it held that 50 EMA all the time. Like even before I saw that, it was holding. Again, we had the huge push, came down, still held it and pushed up. So I was pretty sure I'm going to take bullish setups for the London session. And I was obviously, as usual, waiting for a consolidation, which I got. It started here at around 3:30 a.m. EST. Got a consolidation. And then once it broke out of that consolidation and had a candle close outside, I took my long here. Again, on these days, Matt said it before, Miriam said it before, like see green, take green, right? You want to take profits. You don't want to sit in this for too long, because you never know. It can literally, let's say you were in this pump right here, right? It can immediately reverse and just stop you out break even or even at your stop loss, which is not nice. So I settled for a simple 25.5 point target, which is my usual small target trade, right? Because it's a nice and even $500 on one NQ. I had my stop at minus 18 points right below the consolidation. I almost got stopped out, I have to say. I think I wasn't stopped out by 3.5 points. But then shortly after, I had like a 2 candle pump that got me to TP. So it was a nice trade. I had to show a bit of patience. In total, it took me 19 minutes. Yeah, 19 minutes until I hit TP. And I was expecting to get stopped out, honestly, but I still had this nice 50 EMA here right below the consolidation. So I felt kind of safe. But yeah, overall it was a nice trade, definitely good profits. And then after my TP hit, we went, I think, 25 points more high. Like, I can't speak today. What's happening? It's Monday.
It's Monday,
25
yeah.
points higher, and then since then have been dropping again. And for the day, I mean, NQ is sitting at plus 0.1% gain. So the market is not really sure where it wants to go, obviously. Because I think so far we have not had an appearance from Trump. We've had the news, obviously, but we have not heard him speak. So, except on Twitter, obviously, but not a live appearance. So that was the London session for me and the trade I took. But why don't we go over what's going to happen today? Who wants to start, guys?
Yeah, let's take a look at just the 4-hour chart on the NQ, because obviously that's what we look at quite a bit on this show. And if we really zoom out, we see, despite all of this, guys, obviously we had the gap down. We filled it pretty quickly. We're still just in this range from about 21,000. In fact, let's go ahead and put some lines on this chart here. I don't do a ton, as you guys know, on these 4-hour charts. I just sort of let the charts speak for themselves. But basically, the 22,100, or excuse, I can't talk either. See what you started? The 22,200 level, 22,200 level, 22,200 level. Say that 10 times fast. Has acted as resistance here, basically from a week ago, last Monday's action. And so now, as we come down here, we're now in basically a 600 point range, give or take, and have been for basically the better part of 2 weeks now. So honestly, if potential World War III doesn't get us out of the zone, I don't know what the hell is. But I expect that if we continue up to test the top of the zone, I'm not sure we're getting there today, guys. And I'm going to say this, and we can clip it and make, the markets make Matt look stupid, which could be a weekly segment on this show, right? But ultimately, I think it's going to be a choppy day. I think there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. I'm seeing some quotes from the White House press secretary. So obviously there's either a gaggle or some sort of press briefing right now. Again, I think no offense to past press secretaries, but I think it's sort of every administration in my lifetime, the press secretary seems less and less important and seems less and less in the loop on what's going on. So I'm not, I'll just sort of take that with a grain of salt. But if we hear from the president today, if he continues to saber rattle against Iran, let's see what happens, right? So let's just be careful with everything today. And obviously, as we move into night, on the other side of the world, if there's further attacks, whether Iran on Israel on Iran, U.S. on Iran, we should hear about them during the market. So now, again, I do want to address what somebody said a minute ago, like, hey, the markets, possibly, World War III, the markets just bounce. Guys, I will tell you this, and this is, I've been in this business a while. I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of people, done a lot of events with a lot of traders that trade a lot of money, whether in the New York Stock Exchange and the, former pit traders in the futures in Chicago, all this. And I will tell you this, that, we get our news from, wherever you get your news from, right? They get their news usually directly from like senators and sources that they have in very high level positions. When you're managing trillions of dollars, trust me, you have a direct line to people who know what's going on and what's going to happen. So the markets, in this sense, are one of the best indicators of what's coming. And right now, the markets do not seem overly worried about an escalation, or at least an escalation that involves, major economic disruption. Iran voted apparently to close the Strait of Hormuz last night, which involves a lot of oil moving through, right? And oil prices are, as we stand here right now, down 0.5%, right? So who the hell knows? I think this is a lot of we don't know, right? And we don't know what's going on. And if the big money doesn't know what's going on, we sure as shit are not going to know what's going on. So we're just gonna watch the charts and do what we do. But right now we are right in the middle of this 22,200 to 21,600 level. Let's see if we make another run at 22,000. We've gotten above it quite a bit, but we haven't really been able to sustain above it. But as we sit right now, we're looking towards a flat open, guys, which is not what I would have predicted when the futures market opened at 6 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting day to trade. I'm also not really seeing much that I absolutely love. I'm looking at book maps here, and I'm trying to find some levels that some of these guys are sitting at. Right now, the only level I see to the downside, I don't really see any upside levels, but it's going to be the 725 area, and I'm just trying to highlight it here a little bit more. But for me, I think being in this range kind of makes things a little bit difficult. And we have these trend lines on the 1 hour. So you have Nasdaq here on the left, ES here on the right. And let's focus on Nasdaq here for a minute. But we are kind of we made this nice little gap down yesterday, and as you can see, we quickly came up and filled that gap. Right now, as Matt had mentioned, we are sitting pretty much flat. So we're kind of squeezing in between these areas. You can see right here on Friday, we made this really nice push into this resistance zone, and right now I kind of kept this supply zone here intact just so you guys can see it and where I got it from. This was actually from last Tuesday, and on Friday, if you guys were on the stream, I had mentioned this supply zone as being an area of possible resistance that we get into, and that area is sitting in between 22,092, let's call it 22,100, and that's 22,135 area. Now this is the zone that's of interest to me from a higher time frame, and again, I don't know if we get into that area today. I don't have too much conviction on today, to be honest, but this is going to be a key area for me that I look at this week. So in terms of where we're sitting right now, we do have these, upside and downside trend lines that we're looking at. I would want to see us get above this 21,925 zone. I think if we start to push up into this area, we could get a nice, move and then, clear this area. But right now, this area is going to be Friday's high. I would try to target that area. Now, if we do break this trend line, I would think that this would be the next level that we get into. Again, not really convinced it's going to happen today, just considering what's going on in the world. But that would be sort of my bullish sentiment for the day. Now, for some downside, we do have a little bit more congestion to the downside, and when I say that, I come in saying, usually I'm a bear, usually I like the downside moves, but I'm not really a big fan of the downside moves, even though we do have this nice trend line here. But we have a small demand zone here on the 1 hour chart, sitting from about it's a tiny one. It's sitting from like 21,765 to about 56 area. So it's about a 10-point zone. So we could try to retest this area here. We do have a lot of bookmap buyers sitting at this 725 area as well, a thick wall, which again can be taken out. But just depending on what we get today, I'm going to probably wait for the 725 zone to clear, depending on how we clear. Right? Obviously, I would hope that it's something that comes with a catalyst. But this is kind of the zone that I would be looking at for the downside. That would be the safest entry. Would be clearing the 725 to the downside. But again, I would favor the long side, and I've been saying this on the last streams. I'm a bull. I'm looking for the bullish setup, and once we open, we get a bullish move, and then we quickly take it out. So again, keep your head on a swivel today, guys. For that, I don't have too much conviction on the day. But these would be the levels that I'm looking at. ES did a really good job holding this 6,000 level. The 6,000 level has been such a key area. Let me go to the 1 hour so you guys can really see this. Such a key area that we've been looking at here, and we're still holding. You can see we put in a nice tail on the 1 hour. Again, same sort of setup here in terms of the trend lines. This trend line is actually a 4 hour trend line. I wanted to keep it on here so I can show you guys how well we just pushed up into this zone and we rejected. So I would look for the minimum we clear the 60-40 area, and then to the downside I would look for 6,000 to break. So we have about a 40 point zone here on ES. I do think ES's chart looks a little bit cleaner in terms of these breakouts, but that's just kind of what I'm going to be looking at today. It's Monday, guys. Statistically, Mondays are a little bit rougher days for some traders to trade, me included. So just make sure that you guys are, again, aware of your position sizing. This is not the day to swing for the fences and try to make a big gain. And just take it easy. We still have so much day and so much week left. So don't try to become a hero today. Just make sure you're aware. And again, of course, just to remind you guys, we do have a guest coming on in a little bit here. So make sure that you guys are tuned in for that. And if you haven't, please like this channel because we got some cooking for you guys. So make sure you like this channel.
Giveaways.
Yeah, Nick, you take it from here.
Juicy giveaways. Smash the like button, guys, so we can actually do those giveaways. We have a bunch of accounts to give away today, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I have similar levels like you, Miriam. If we go to my charts really quick, on the 15-minute here, I also have the 2 trend lines on Nasdaq. Right, I said it before. We're sitting at roughly 0.15% gain for the day, so we're pretty much at open levels, like from where we started, basically. So I expect one of these trend lines to break, and that is when I start looking for setups, unless I get like a perfect bull flag or bear flag before, but I don't expect that to happen. One strong level that I will consider is the previous week mid. Oh, duh! You've heard me say that before. Last week's previous week mid, so the one that we had last week, was sitting right at 2K at 22,000, and now we're sitting about 60 points lower for last week's previous week mid. Gosh, this is complicated. Anyways, this level was rejected multiple times already. It was rejected again today at 4 a.m. and then at 5:30 a.m. So I expect this to hold. If we go down, then this will be my turning point, kind of. And same thing with the yearly open. I mean, the yearly open has always been a very strong level. We touched it literally perfectly on the 5th of June, then again on the 12th of June, then again on the 19th of June. And yeah, if we go down, that is certainly an area to look out for. So for me, 4 most important levels, obviously the 2 trend lines, and then the previous week mid and the yearly open. So keep an eye out for that.
Absolutely. And guys, I've seen 2 comments in the chat already. Boundless just had one, and there was one little up. I'm sorry, I forgot who said it, but I think it was NGU said, we got one person made their money for the day. They're just settling in to enjoy the show. And then Boundless saying, like us, he's not sure a lot of his prime setups are going to play out today. So he's just sitting enjoying the show. We got all kinds here, and that's what we aim to provide you guys, is some little entertainment, a little socialization, and what can be a very lonely business. Speaking of Tradeify TV, guys, at the very end of today's show, this little teaser, we have a huge announcement as it relates to the future of Tradeify TV. Again, at the very end of today's show, I'm gonna hype it up a couple more times during the show, and we'll make the announcement right before we go off today. But so if you are not able to be with us at the very end of the show today, make sure you come back later today and watch the last 5 minutes of the show. I'm excited, but Miriam, I got to tease this and make them stick around for the program.
Oh yeah. There's a lot going on in the background.
Definitely, all the time. But let's actually do a quick giveaway here before 9 a.m. because why not? Everybody who's early on the stream should be rewarded, and we hit the 200 like goal. So guys, as usual, here's what we're gonna do, okay? Not as usual, the giveaway is always different, but here's what you can get this time. We're gonna do a flash giveaway, so no marble race for now, but you know us, we are gonna do marble races today. But for the flash giveaway, we're gonna give away one 50K advanced account, all right? We're gonna give away one 50K growth account, and we're gonna give away a 25K straight to funded account. So 3 accounts in one giveaway, all right? Simple as usual. You have to make sure that you like the stream, you have to make sure that you are subscribed, and you have to type the keyword TTV, 3 letters, TTV, and you get a chance to enter. Just once. If you type it more than once, you're gonna get disqualified.
And there they go.
There they go. Good luck, guys.
As Nick takes another swig of vodka.
You
can call it water. We're not fooled. We are not fooled.
No, I just wanted to host a little giveaway here on Tradeify TV. You know, it's very good.
Don't get Matt started on this.
For the glory of Mother Russia.
Yes, my mother. You know, I am Mother Russia. Basically, it's like.
Who needs water when you have vodka?
This is.
I will not be
Miriam is composing her resignation email right now.
I'm typing it as we speak.
It's
These are
Russian
fun,
one.
all of you. I'm out.
This has been great.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
listen, there's a non-zero chance that we're all dead at the end of the week for a nuclear war, so we might as well have fun while we can, right?
Well, we will have fun. Trust me. It's gonna be great.
Oh man. Wait, I just
All
want to
right.
know, Nick, are you using the same bottle or are you switching that out?
That is a very good question. It's always a
Like your
different.
t-shirts, no one knows.
No one knows, but look. So here's the one I'm drinking from currently, and then once that's done, I'm gonna be putting that to the side and suddenly next
Oh my
bottle
gosh.
ready. That's how it works.
You just have like a little bodega sitting next to you.
Yeah,
with a
we
bunch of-
actually have like these. It's kind of like 5 boxes full of water, and then whenever we're at the last box, we call this guy. He comes, takes all the empty bottles, and brings the new ones. It's fantastic. It's a great service.
No wonder you always need a piss break during the show. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Seriously.
Uh,
That's awesome.
it looks like I'm drinking 1 bottle, but I'm actually drinking like 2 or 3 each show.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I'm surprised you're not taking one every 10 minutes.
Mix the
Well, I
fish.
am. I'm just not going to the toilet every time.
Oh, okay. Well, that's thanks for that mental image.
Oh man. All right. Let's pick a winner here. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Drew. Let's pick him. All right. First one is Lee Guyet. That sounds like a French name. Or Lee. How do you guys pronounce that? I have no idea.
I say Lee.
I say
Lee?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna say Lay for the fun of it. However, you won a 50K advanced account. Congrats! Now we're gonna pick the winner for a 50K growth account. That is Vivek. Oh shit! This is so small on my screen. I can barely see it. Vivek Vagadre. Congratulations! You won a 50K growth account, and for the 25K straight to funded account, who we got? Who do we have?
Elon.
Let's go.
Elon, you don't need anything, man. You can buy it. You could trade it 20
25K.
times over.
25K straight to funded account to Elon. All 3 of you guys, congratulations. Make sure to type something in the chat if you haven't already, and add your email to your YouTube channel description so we can see it and actually email you the codes for these free accounts. Congrats, guys. We're gonna do more giveaways today. Don't worry.
Congratulations. We've seen Elon in here a few times.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, no, for those saying it's rigged because Elon won, absolutely, because he actually he threatened to publish background Nick's Twitter DM, so we kind of had to do something, and we don't know what's in there, but we don't want to know. So
He
I
actually
think it's
promised
just
Matt a robo taxi, so that's why we're.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, they rolled those out this weekend, didn't they?
They
I'm sure.
did,
I'm
they
sure
did.
everything will
It was
go
like-
swimmingly. Hopefully, they don't blow up on the pad like the
Yeah.
Rockets do.
They have don't they have like no steering wheels?
I
I do.
I
heard.
recall I read that right now they have to have like a driver in there at least for the first
Oh.
few weeks. So there's like a spotter, I guess. Probably just one more person to die in a fiery crash if,
Yeah,
if and when it happens. But
that person
I
is sitting on the passenger seat now.
Yeah. I mean, even before Elon started making his promises, we were promised autonomous cars like by now. So let's get to it. I'm tired of these 5-hour drives back to Chicago. I'd love to just sleep during the.
Yeah, right.
I mean, speaking of promises, he also promised the Roadster 2020 to come out in 2020, and it's 2025. So I'm still waiting for that car. What's happening there?
Well, what was it that I saw the other day? It was Uber that has decided, and everybody's familiar with the concept of Uber and how it goes. I always like the analogy that I heard, like for my generation, like we were raised to not talk to strangers and especially don't talk to strangers on the internet and don't get in strangers' cars. And now we literally summon strangers from the internet to get in their cars, right? So, but I saw Uber has said, well, we're going to do we're going to get these larger vehicles. We're going to have scheduled Uber runs from one place to another. And somebody said, congratulations, you just invented busing. And so, it's just, the people kind of trying to reinvent the wheel. The robo taxis, if they work, I don't care if it's Elon, Tesla, or somebody else. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to be killed by one, but I mean, let's see what happens. I would, whoever's the first is going to be a headline. So I guess at least you'll die in immortality somewhat.
Well, I heard there are only 2-seaters too, so less people that can actually die from those. Maybe
This is how we're framing it. How many people are going to be killed in
let's
fiery
focus on
explosions?
Positive.
I mean, in this world, who knows?
We're grateful for all of our viewers, but today's the first day I'm glad we don't have 1 million viewers. We get sued into oblivion.
Oh man.
Oh man. Oh man.
It's,
Oh man.
it's fun to laugh.
That's definitely the case. Like, I mean, laughing makes life better. No matter how you feel, laughing makes it better. I swear.
I just unfortunately laugh in dark times.
See, it says, yeah, Waymo's been operating for years, but that's out in California. Or Miriam, is that in LA?
LA.
LA.
Bye.
LA.
How you
I don't
doing,
know. I'm
LA?
not from LA, so I don't really...
Well, this is a new record. We barely make it through the first half hour of the week before just sending the whole fucking show off the ropes.
Oh man, guys.
Oh man.
Well, we need creative ways to hit 13K subscribers. Maybe that's the way,
Yeah. Or maybe we do a show from LA.
LA. we need to show that clip so that people actually know what the hell we're
Well,
talking
we should. You know what? I'll just tell everybody. It's if we were talking last week about Canada, and so I sent our group text a clip from a show that I watched called Letterkenny. It's a Canadian comedy sitcom, and it was people from Canada talking about LA, and it was really funny the way they did it. And so if you just Google Letterkenny LA, it'll pop up. It's like a 1.5 minute clip, and it's really, really funny. So I sent it to Miriam, and I was like, I know she's not technically from LA, but I was like, all right, she's either gonna laugh or never speak to me again. So
Oh, it's hilarious.
yeah.
So I'm not from LA, so I can laugh at LA folks all day long. But we love our West Coast crew. I am from the West Coast, so anyone rocking with us from the West Coast this morning, appreciate you guys for being here very early.
Can we actually get everybody's countries here, guys, in the chat? Mention where you're from. We want to know. We have the whole world in here. I know. I hope there are some Swiss guys. Come on, Switzerland.
Come on, Switzerland.
Come on, Switzerland. One guy's gonna be like, yay.
Guys, we're going to be joined by our guest momentarily here. We're getting him loaded up behind the scenes, so we will look forward to speaking with him very soon. So as we lead into the New York Open. So, oh gosh, we got Mars. Wow. Somebody's from Mars. That's outstanding.
That's great.
Yeah.
Welcome.
We're multicultural, multi-country, and multi-planetary.
Planetary, yeah.
If we could get somebody from another solar system, we could be, multi-system. I don't know. That's
multi what, Matt? Say it.
I don't know. I had something there, and it's gone. It's Monday. Give me a fucking break. Come on.
Well, you and I both can't talk today. I don't know what's happening. I think Miriam's going to host the show herself.
Steven says that somebody married to a Canadian, they have no right to make fun of it. What's wrong with Canada there, E? Why are you taking shots at us this morning? We're all about kindness up here. I don't know why you're taking shots at Canadians first thing in the mornings. I'm so angry. I almost put down my Timmy Hortons.
Timmy Hortons.
Timmy Hortons.
We had this discussion last week, and I don't want to offend anyone.
No.
Oh, they're Canadians. They won't be offended. They're nice people.
This is true.
They're way nicer than we are. So
they'll probably apologize for
that you're talking so much trash about us down there. Maybe we'll just cut off your Tim Hortons and your oil.
Oh man,
Oh man, that's so funny.
Great. Well, we do also have some news today, guys. Just to make sure everyone's aware, we have some news sitting here at the 45 mark. So make sure you're aware of the news that's coming out. The flash manufacturing PMI, and then we have some Fed numbers actually speaking throughout the day, starting at around. I'm looking at it. My time, West Coast time is 10, but. So that's 1 Eastern. We also have existing home sales starting at 10 a.m. So make sure you guys are aware of the news that is going to potentially come out today.
Yeah, Boundless, we are planning on doing that, creating some fun YouTube shorts. Again, it was all about this show. We're all about kind of scaling up what we're doing in the features and the guests and all that. So all that kind of stuff is coming. But right now, we only let producer Drew and background Nick get 2 hours of sleep per night. When we start doing this, we're gonna have to cut it down to an hour and a half. So we're letting them build up to that. But yeah, hello to all our Canadian friends. I've been to Canada before. I love it up there. It's very, very nice. I wish you got a little less snow up there and it was a little warmer, but that's what makes you so nice people. All right, guys. So I think we are getting ready to bring on our guest here. As I try to talk over the background noise and get everything going here, but
there's a lot going on in the background here.
Absolutely.
But we're excited. We're excited to bring on our guest here in a little bit.
All right, guys. So it is time. So, guys, we have a very special guest with us today. We've had a lot of YouTube traders, a lot of people that work with us, and in a lot of different scenarios, and people that are very publicly out there. But we wanted to bring you kind of the full gamut of guests. And so the gentleman we're about to bring on here is our number 7 live trader so far in 2025 with over $128,000 of realized profit. So we're really excited to bring him on. This is, to my knowledge, I think one of the first times we're going to be hearing from a live trader, but certainly not the last. So I'm very excited, guys. If we could bring on Victor O. So we let's get that going on, and there he is, Victor. Good morning. How are you, sir?
Victor.
Good morning,
Welcome to the stream.
Good morning. Happy to be here. Been watching since the Tradeify TV live started, and just wanted to say good job to you guys, Miriam, Matt, and Nick. Thank you very much for everything that you guys have been doing, and just happy to be part of this stream on this beautiful Monday morning. I'm based out in Dallas, Texas. Well, Prosper, Texas, precisely, in the DFW Metroplex.
Excellent. That's great. So as we're kind of moving towards the open here, we'll obviously pull up your charts and talk about how you've created your live account so far this year. But first, give us in just a couple of minutes, how did you get into trading, and how long have you been a trader?
Right, so that's a very good question. I started out, I got exposed to trading through one of my wife's friends. So my wife has a couple of friends and stuff like that, but I'm cool with them. And this was about 2019, shortly before the pandemic. And I heard the girls talking. It wasn't my business, but I just heard, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of interested. My wife wasn't interested, but I was interested. So I said, I'll hit up your friends and I'll find out what's going down. And we formed a little, WhatsApp group, about 4 of them, myself, making 5, and we just started talking about trading. One of them already had some experience with trading futures and belonged to like a training and stuff like that. So she kind of created like a little a session where she walked us through what she had learned so far. It was my first time hearing about futures. I never knew about futures. I knew about stocks, and had an account with Robinhood at the time, played with a couple stocks and cryptocurrency, but nothing serious, right? And then she talked about futures and what she had learned, and I was really very intrigued. So I started doing that, and I was working by the side as well. So I was devoting some time in the evenings to just go through, learn, and just get myself exposed. But during the pandemic, I got more interested because now we had more time in our hands. So I had more time to learn and understand and stuff like that. And and I liked it. And I never looked back since then. That's how I got interested, and that's how I got introduced and interested in the whole concept of trading.
Excellent.
That's amazing. Well, and first of all, I just want to say appreciate you coming on here and being our first trader on here, and really, talking to us about your journey. What is it that you feel like? So you got into trading. You started getting to trading during the pandemic. So you've seen a lot of different types of market environments. Then, what would you say has been some of your biggest, earliest struggles getting into trading? And then I kind of want to get into your strategy a little bit here before we open.
Absolutely. One of the greatest lessons for me was self-control, discipline, right? Patience, self-control, discipline. I never knew that I was greedy until I started trading, and I had to be honest with myself. I'll tell you the honest truth. When I started trading, I had a personal account. I was trading my own money. Um, first 5 days, I started with $1,000 account. I kid you not. Within the first 5 days, I was up 15 grand. Right?
Mm.
Felt like magic. I'd never seen that before. I'm used to getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, and even then, I don't get $15,000 in my paycheck. You know,
Mhm.
so I saw $15,000 in a couple of days, and I was going crazy. By the Friday, I went away, and I was also ignorant because I didn't know that I could take money out. I didn't know I could pay myself at that time.
Hmm.
So I left the money there. I came back on Monday, still had that, energy and stuff. Came back, blew everything in one day.
Hmm.
I mean, everything. I was down back to like $1,000. Was then it occurred to me that greed, lack of self-control and lack of discipline cost me that loss, and those are the things that I learned, and I still struggle with it till today. I still struggle with it. On some good days, I feel like, man, I need to make all the money that I lost, all the money that everybody took from me. I need to make everything back on the day when I see the market going in a particular way, and I still end up getting spanked. You see, so it's about that patience, self-control, and discipline to be able to control myself, my greed, make my money, and walk away.
Mhm.
It's those kind of things that I've been working on, and I'm still currently working on. And now I feel like I'm more of a target-driven trader. So I'm not looking for $10,000 a day. I don't care if the market is going up. I don't care if the market is riding a ride. I just have a target, and I try to make enough money for my target. And when I hit my target, I'm gone.
Excellent.
And what do you do to actually be gone? Like, do you lock your computer physically like I did? Or do you use a software, or do you just walk away and that's not an issue for you? Like, what's your strategy on that?
Oh, good question. I just locked the computer, Windows L. That's it, and I'm gone. I'm out. I go take a nap.
Love that.
For real. I just go. I take a nap. I text my homeboy like, "Hey, dude, I'm done." So I think that's also another good part. I have an accountability partner. He probably may be watching actually. Shout out to my homeboy Marlon if he's watching. I just text him, or he texts me. He's like, "Dude, get out, don't go back," that kind of stuff. Or he'll video call me or something like that, just to make sure that I'm
Nice.
in bed or something like that. Or I tell my wife I'm done for the day. I'm not going back there. It's as simple as that. But I gotta tell you, sometimes 90% of times I don't go back. But there's some 10% of the time, again, greed, makes you want to go back there and say, "Oh, let me see what's going on there," and stuff like that. And I've been slapped, so now I don't even do it again.
No,
Yeah.
nice. You know what I think is really epic? I mean, the name Victor has Latin origin and means winner, right? And you're now on the top 10 leaderboard
Absolutely.
of Tradeify. I mean, that is so sick.
Wow.
So what is your winning strategies? Like, what do you trade?
Right. So very good question. I trade NQ, right? I used to trade ES before, got tired of it. I started trading NQ and I never looked back. So what I do is I have some indicators on my chart. Okay. I know a lot of people trade naked charts and all that. I can do that, but I've been I have a friend, like a mentor. He created some beautiful algorithms, and I've been kicking with him for about 5 years now. So I kind of have an idea of what they mean, and we have regular meetings and we talk, we discuss few updates and stuff. I'm not here to advertise anybody, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I'm just saying what I do. So I can trade naked chart. I have my EMAs, and all those, those good stuff, those indicators. So I understand the science behind what I'm seeing on my screen, but I have a screen that I understand and I know what I'm looking at. And I try to use a combination of time and volume. So I look at 5, 15. If you already get the privilege of seeing my charts, I have 5, 15, 30, 60 minutes. So they give me an indication of what's going on per time. And then on another screen, I have a combination of volume. I look at 250 volume, 1000 volume, and 2500 volume. So I have a whole lot of stuff that I look at, right? And the whole idea is, in abundance of caution and discipline, patience, I can make. The idea is to make a data-driven decision. So if it takes me a lot more patience, a lot more looking, a lot more observation, it's fine with me, because I realize that I can lose money that quick, And even when I feel like I've made a good decision, I still don't control the market. The market can decide to, do what it do, as we all know. So the whole idea is, look at my time charts and look at my volume charts, and I'm able to make, a decision based on a trend that I'm seeing. So sometimes it takes me a longer while to take a trade. I can sit there for like 2 hours waiting for a good setup. Sometimes I can miss a good setup. It's okay, but I'm looking for my best hand that I can play, take one trade for the day and be done.
Absolutely. And just for reference, about on average, how many trades per day do you take?
To be honest, on a good day, I take maybe just one trade.
Okay.
Right. I'm done. But that's for a winning trade. For a winning trade, one trade done. But when I take a trade and I'm losing, then brother, there's no limit of how many trades I can take. Sometimes, but I try to limit myself to about 5 trades, because I want to be able to win back my loss or get my loss back to a place where I feel comfortable. Because now when I'm chasing back a loss, I'm not sitting in trades. So I need to say this. When I'm in let's say I take a trade, my stop loss is like maybe $800 or something like that, and I lose maybe $800, right? The next couple of trades I'm taking, I'm not sitting down there waiting to make $800. It doesn't work for me like that, right? I'm going there looking for $200 out, $150 out, $100 out, and I'm chopping at the loss, right? The goal is for me, chop the loss as much as possible. When I chop the loss to a place where I feel like maybe I'm $100 away, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just done. I don't want to. I'm mentally exhausted. I take $100 loss. I can walk away. Or in some cases, I'm blessed to where I take a good trade and I see it spiking up, and I sit down there and I wipe out my loss. So I try to limit myself to about 5 trades, to be able to come back from any loss.
Well, that's outstanding. So basically, your average trading day is wake up, make some money, and then go take a nap. Like, that's the dream right there.
Absolutely. The only thing is I don't control the market, and sometimes I have to sit down there a couple of hours before I can make that money. And it's like, oh man, I hate days like that, But
Little follow-up question on that, Victor. Leah is asking in the chat here on YouTube, when do you stop? Because let's say you can't chop your loss and you're digging yourself deeper into the hole. Like, when do you actually stop? Do you have a hard limit, or how do you do it?
I do have a hard limit. So for me, well, because I'm on the live trading part, I think I need to have a chat with Nick now that I get some kind of access. I have 3 accounts with Tradeify. I have one of them, I think, is $1,500, which is a married account. But I think it's also up to $2,000, and I'm not very sure. So there's a daily loss limit of $2,000, which I like. I like the whole idea of daily loss limit. But in my head, there's a mental figure of $1,500. I feel like once I begin to pass $1,500 of loss, I think that's a big hole. That's a big hole right there, I mean, I've come back from that before, I've come back from that several times, but there's also the psychology of it as well that I'm still trying to master. So 1,500 is about that value where I try to want to stop it. But in trades where maybe I just have a bad day and I've had 3 trades and I've had 3 losses, chances are that my stop loss of $800 have been hit 3 times. That's about close to $2,000, in which it just stops me out automatically. But I try to avoid that. 1,500 is a good spot, for the kind of accounts that I trade.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Great.
Absolutely. So obviously we're about we're about 7 minutes to the open, to the New York Open now. Do you trade outside of New York market hours, or you pretty much stay within New York market hours?
So I just trade the New York one. I'm like 8:30 to to like afternoon, something like that, Central Time.
Okay. And if you weren't with us on this show right now, what's your routine looking like last 10, 15 minutes leading into the open?
Oh, fantastic. So again, my routine is I have my charts open. I want to make sure that I'm connected. I trade through NinjaTrader. So I'm making sure that my connection is set up on NinjaTrader. I have the green. I make sure that my my chart is set up the way it should be. Nothing really changes, but I just make sure that the chart is there. I make sure I have my account set up correctly. I check for my ATM strategy, make sure that that is also set up, and I sit down on my hands. I don't typically trade at the open of the bell. I'm not that risky. I let the market do what it do at 8:30, and let it go up, go down, whatever it wants to do. So I give the market about 10 minutes to settle. But also before that, I check Forex Factory for news. So I try to see, is there any news, and that informs my impression of what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna move. Like for this morning, I already checked, and I see that we have this 8:45. We have a red folder at 8:45. I typically don't trade red folders or orange folders. I just just based on my own experience, I've been burnt several times to where I don't like to fool with it. So on a day like this, I'm not taking any trade until after 9 o'clock in the morning for sure. Yeah.
So what are you looking at for today then? Any specific levels that you have highlighted?
Right. Yeah. So because on my chart, I've been highlighting levels for like 4 or 5 years now. So my chart is full of levels. So once I pick up my once I get on my chart, I can see different levels that I've marked over time. And for this morning, I've actually checked, and I'm looking at where the market actually the overnight high, the Asian high, the Asian low, overnight high, overnight low. I have all those marked on my screen. I have those set up to where it marks it automatically for me. And then I have previous levels that I check. So on this morning, I've seen that the market has actually traded, down low to like the 21,790 range, even below that. So I'm looking at somewhere around then to see, if the sellers are gonna go back, there, because I've seen buying pressure has been in the market since about 6:45 in the morning. So I'm wanting to see when the market opens, are they going to reject and go back all the way down? So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, maybe they're going to go down. And I have a little box on here, interestingly, that I marked. I have a little box here. The market traded into the box, but they didn't get to break through the box. I don't know if my screen is up and you can see my screen though.
Yeah.
But for those who can see my screen, you can see it. Okay, so you see this little yellow angle here, highlighted here. This was from weeks ago, because I remember when I created this box. So it's from weeks ago. It's not something I just created. And if you see, the market traded into the box, but it didn't when I created this box. So it's from weeks ago. It's not something I just created. And if you see, the market traded into the box, but they were not able to go down. They were not able to break through that box. So in my mind, I'm looking at that area as a gray area today, and if you notice here, they didn't go beyond 21 indicator from NinjaTrader. It's called Weissman Fractal. One of my homeboys introduced it to me, Weissman Fractal. So it pretty much marks the highest points and the lowest points of the market. It's not an algorithm or anything like that. It's just an indicator. So it shows me that the market didn't break beyond here. So in my mind, whatever the buyers do, they need to break here, and they need to break through my yellow box. So in my mind, I have a bias towards the sell side. I'm thinking there's going to be like a sell retracement, probably back to this level here. You can see this line I have here, 21,851. Maybe the buyers are going to, the sellers are going to retrace back there, and they're going to shoot back up. So those are the kind of things I'm looking at, just, face value interaction with my chart. But, we're never completely right or completely wrong. We'll see what the market do if they decide to do that.
Yeah, let's see. Especially on a day like today, it's going to be potentially crazy, potentially boring. Both could happen.
Yes, especially in view of events over the weekend and stuff like that.
Exactly. Do you usually wait for like the first 15 minutes or 30 minutes, like an opening range, or do you just go straight for it?
Oh no, that's what I mentioned earlier on. I don't fool with the opening. I don't fool with the opening of the market. I've been slapped,
Got it.
As you can imagine, trading, at least I know, for the last 5 years of trading, you can assume that I've been slapped a lot of times, and I've been successful a lot of times too. But I think I've been slapped more than I've been successful. when I trade in the opening when I trade the opening range. So I don't have that much money to trade. You know what I mean? Like I'm still I'm still a little fish in the pond. I'm not trading billions yet to where I can say, you know what, scratch it, whatever happens.
I love how you said yet. That's the key word for me. I
Oh
love
yeah,
that.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm a person of faith. I don't shy away
Mhm.
from that. And one of the things in my faith, I'm a Christian, is we believe in things to come, and we're persuaded of better things. And so for
Mm.
me, it's always that possibility that better days ahead kind of thing.
Yep.
And look at it this way: those who are there now, they started somewhere from the ground. So we have to keep the faith. Bet on myself.
Mhm, mhm. Amen. Yeah, I love that.
Yes, say that again.
We can turn this into a whole gospel. I mean, it's
But I'm not in LA. I'm not in LA.
LA.
I can't just I couldn't get over
LA.
that. I couldn't get over that in my head. I'm like, man.
Well, maybe we'll do a meetup in LA.
Yeah, LA.
Guys, we have 38 seconds until market open here. So Matt, get ready.
Let me clear my throat.
Just curious, is anyone trading the opening of the market?
I'm not planning on it.
We all
we
kind of
usually
wait
wait.
out the beginning. Yeah,
Because
we're in the same boat.
I watch the show and I know that you guys. I mean, I watch sometimes and nobody's even in a trade for the longest. I'm like, exactly. I like these people, man.
We're your people.
They exercise patience. They're like me.
Absolutely.
All right,
yeah.
guys, we are 5 seconds away from the New York Open here on what's going to be a very interesting week. Ding, ding, motherfuckers. Let's go.
Nice. Let's go.
So
Really
far getting
excited to
some-
see where we're heading now.
Yeah, interesting selling coming in here. We're rejecting the top of this trend line still on the NASDAQ and ES here. So going to be an interesting open. But to your point, Victor, I mean, we've had days where, we've seen pops to the upside with no sense of a pullback. I mean, I know Matt calls himself a reform chaser, but how do you I know you like to sit the markets out and you've kind of been burned in the past, but man, I mean, do you struggle with that at all? Just chasing right into that?
Listen, I'm just like everybody. I
He
like
said,
I like
listen.
I like the sound of money. I like the sound of the cha-ching in my account. So
Cha-ching.
when you see a trade or when you have an instinct that the market could do this and it ends up doing that and you're not in there, of course it sucks and you feel like, man, why did I not just take a chance and stuff? But what I've also learned is and again it comes back to what I was saying about self-control and discipline. Like I said, I've learned that over time that if I miss a train now, I'll catch the next train. And I've become more comfortable with that over time. Whatever goes around is gonna come back around. If I miss it now, I jump on it later. I lived in England. I went to school in England, and we used to jump on the bus all the time, right? If you miss the bus now, just wait 5 minutes. The next one is on the way.
You're right.
And that approach is what has actually helped me, and coupled with the trading community that I said I belong to, which again I'm not here to advertise in that sense because I have to respect this organization. But it's one of the things that we learn, one of the things that I've been exposed to that kills people, learning from other people's experiences, But looking at the market, you can see that again, it's blown through the original resistance line that I was thinking here, and it's headed for this other one here at 21,818. It's blown through that as well. So I'm expecting it to come probably touch 21,789 if the sellers are really serious, and potentially break through that onto here again. See?
But there we are.
So see them. Yeah, they're there. And I see them breaking through this one easily. I see them potentially coming back here. Let me put a line there as well, actually. Let's see this one here. Okay. See, they bounced off this one very hard.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. Yeah, I can see, see this one here. And I have this, in case, just for clarity, this green line and red line over here on my chart is the VWAP. And the VWAP just pretty much crossover between 200 and 400 EMAs for me. So the VWAP just went red, which means sell. So there's a lot of selling pressure. So this looks like it's a lot of selling pressure in the market so far. But
Yeah.
we also do know that things can change within the next few minutes.
Yeah, I do like this selling pressure coming in here.
Yeah.
We are entering this demand zone as well.
You
One of
tempted to short, Miriam?
a new news item that just hit after, it doesn't give a source, but right after the open, U.S. expects Iran retaliation within the next 48 hours.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to be hanging over the markets all week, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, oh well.
So I did take a short there at
I knew
the
it.
799 area. So I am in one MNQ here, guys.
Okay, that's a conservative one.
I'm looking at this demand zone to hold. But I did already take some profit off just for full transparency. I got into 3 MNQ here, or I'm sorry, three NQs. So I have my stop sitting here at this 83 level. So I do want to see this demand zone break. Right now we are holding, so I might get stopped out on this, but no. All right,
You got
so
stopped?
stop down on that. I was trying to hold it, but look at this demand zone, guys. This demand zone is holding very well on this 1 hour. This 1 hour demand zone that I had mentioned to you guys. So really, the best entry would be under this demand zone. We do have room down to this 24 area, but you could get a retest of this VWAP level. If we do break this area, I might consider actually re-entering this trade. But right now we are holding. We did break the trend line as well, so.
Yeah, that was a brave move there. Congratulations on the wins there.
Quick wins, man. It's the quick ones.
Absolutely. And I like to celebrate wins because every grain is highly welcome here. Whether it's
very, very highly welcomed.
whether it's $1,000, that's money that I didn't have before the show started. So hey.
It is, yeah, and it's cool to, days like this too on Mondays. Mondays are tough. Mondays are tough days. I don't know if you have certain days that kind of work for you best, or, I don't know. But for me, my days are Mondays. If I can get a quick win, I'll be good for the day.
Yeah, Mondays, it's just psychologically, they set the tone for you psychologically. I find that Fridays are probably the hardest for me, actually. Fridays are just not very predictable for me. I don't know why. And, a loss on Fridays just feel like you've lost the whole week in my head, just psychological again, If I have a good win on Friday, oh, I'm so happy heading into the weekend.
Yeah, wow, look at that strong bounce there. I don't know if you have a level there, Victor. At around where we just kind of wicked right to, and we're about taking out this whole play right now.
Yes, exactly. So you came back to, if you notice, I had a line on here around 21,774, and they broke through that to the 58 and came back up again. So it's pretty much comparable to what I was saying earlier on, that I expect the sellers to take it down and I expect the buyers to come back up again. So it's a good test and retest so far. I'll be watching this box, like I said earlier on, right? I won't take the buyers very seriously until they break through here. Well, I won't assume that the market is in a complete buy side until they break through here. I think that's the better way to say it.
Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
And we've been seeing a lot of these sort of reversals. We'll get a massive move either to one side. And I'm not saying today was a massive move, but we'll get a move to one side, and then eventually, we reverse that and we start, changing direction here. So, what are you looking at specifically here? Are you looking at the highs you said around? So what would that be, like 21,890 area, or what would you be looking for confirmation?
So for me right now, Right now, I actually feel like I can take a buy trade. I'll be waiting for them. But I actually want to pull back to maybe like the 21.835, and I'll be looking at my 1 minute chart to see what's going down there. If you can see my chart, I have this little green thing here. If I get a buy on my 5 minutes, I'll be more comfortable to take it.
Do
But
you?
right now,
do
I'm
you
in a comfortable place. Say
Sorry,
that
Victor.
again?
Do you usually execute on the 1 minute chart?
Sometimes.
Okay. Depending on.
Yeah, depending on I will also check the volume as well. I want to make sure that maybe like a 1,000 volume is moving in the same direction as my 1 minute chart. Then it gives me.
Gotcha.
I can take a chance on that. So 1 minute combined with 1,000 volume. Don't ask me
Makes
why.
sense.
It's just
It's just what you do.
it's just in my head. It just sounds good and feels good in my head. But right now, I feel like I can take a trade. I would like to see the sellers pull back here to like 842 or maybe 836. But there's news coming up at 845. So
Mhm.
I don't touch the market like that. Like 10 minutes before, 10 minutes after the news, because these people can just fool me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So I do want to say we did just have a Trump tweet. It says, "Everyone keep oil prices down. I'm watching. You're playing right into the hands of the enemy. Don't do it." All caps and multiple exclamation points.
Oh wow.
And then also Iran Armed Forces chief vows firm action against the U.S. after strikes. So we'll see what happens there. Just things to keep in mind. I don't normally read a ton of news, guys, during the markets, but obviously this is some pretty key things to watch. Anything involving oil prices and or the conflict, we will relay that to you as soon as it comes across the news feed.
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting for oil.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you trade any other commodities? I know you said you strictly trade NASDAQ now, but do you look at
No,
gold?
yeah.
Do you look at oil?
So I was playing around with crude oil before, the CL.
Mhm.
But what I found out is, it was hard for me to just juggle everything together. See, I do well when I'm just, in one thing at a time. So what I do is when I trade my main account, I can, play around crude oil or ES or my SIM just to get a feel for it and to see the relationship between like crude oil. So I found a relationship, and I don't know if that is still true because I've not played with it in a while. I think gold, crude oil, when crude oil is going south, I think NASDAQ is going north or something like that. I can't really remember it. I need to check through my notes. But back in the day, I used to play around it. So when gold is down, I know that NASDAQ is going up. So I used to like that relationship where if one is going one way, the other one is going the other way. But I've not been very consistent with that comparison over time.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
you said you used to trade ES. So do you still use ES in your confirmations when you're trading NASDAQ?
So the way my charts are set up, I have so much NQ on my charts, but I still do check with ES. I still do check with ES, and every once in a while I'll just check and confirm that this is going in the same direction, and it gives me that confirmation. Yes, I do, and I have friends who trade ES, so we have texts and stuff like that, like, oh, ES is doing this. I'm like, okay, that's it. That's what I needed to know. So
Yeah.
kind of like helps me. A healthy community, I'm telling you. For those who are watching the show, a healthy community like what's going on here at Tradeify, or good friends that you all trade together, it's always very good. You can get
Absolutely.
perspective.
For sure. Also, guys, in the chat, I want to make sure that you get the opportunity to ask Victor any questions that you want, obviously, that he feels comfortable answering, I mean. So feel free to put them in the chat and we'll pick the best ones and ask Victor for you.
Sure. More than happy to share.
Nice. That's good. That's good. I mean, yeah, dude, you're number 7 on the leaderboard now at Tradeify. How does that feel?
I mean, I didn't even know that until you said that. I'm aiming for top 3. I think I've had a couple of hits and misses and stuff. So, number 7, I'll take that, considering the hundreds and thousands of people that are out there. it's a big deal for me. But we don't stop there. We keep keep aiming for the top spot, right? Um, but yeah, I'm very humbled to hear that, and it's encouraging because when you have bad days, you just feel like, man, I suck. I tell you the honest truth. Last week, I was feeling like I was bad at it. I was texting my friends, man, I just suck at this. Maybe I should
Mm.
just go do something else, this and that, this and that. Just sad with myself. But to hear things like this, kind of encourages me. Like, so yeah.
That's actually really, I mean, I appreciate the transparency, especially coming from someone who is, doing very well for
Mhm.
himself. And, but it goes to show that like even traders who are doing really well still have moments of doubt or moments of, is this really right for me?
Mhm.
So, what would you say is important in that? I know you said you have someone that helps
Mhm.
you and is kind of like keeps you accountable, but what other
Mhm.
things would you say have helped you kind of go through that and limit that self-limiting
Mhm.
doubts?
Right. So, yeah, in addition to my homeboy Marlon, I also have this. I have, well, it's people really. It's just people and faith. Let me just summarize it: people and faith.
Mm,
My faith tells me that better days are ahead. My faith
mhm,
tells me that joy comes in the morning, weeping endures in the night, stuff like that. I read that to myself. I have a trader's creed that I read to just encourage myself and motivate myself. I have Bible verses that I just default to just pick me up when I'm down. And I have people. I have another woman. She's become like a mother to me. I told her that I've adopted her as my American mother. She's about 77 years old, and
oh,
met her in the trade group that I belong to, and we just clicked the bond. And you can tell, I'm a young guy, and she's seen life, she's had a good career and stuff like that. And so every now and again I call her. I think I call Miss Spam like 5 times a week, and I tell you the honest truth. On last week Thursday, I was really very down. I texted her. I said, I need to talk to you, and I called her, and she was on the phone with me for about 2 hours.
oh wow.
Just encouraging me and walking me through my success because she knows everything about my trades, everything
Mm,
about my experience and my journey, and she was just chronicling everything for me and just reminding me of the journey and stuff like that, and assuring me that, listen, if you've come through all of this, you get through all of this, you get through, you made it through this, you get through that. So
yes.
I think, in summary, faith and people, you can never get through that. And of course, being honest with yourself, because so I review my trades and I see myself, I'm like, okay, why did I take that trade?
Yeah.
Over the weekend, I got an email from Tradeify that was talking about, I don't know if you all saw that, about when you're in a bad trade and you hold on for hope and you're expecting that the trade is going to turn up in your favor and stuff like
Mm,
that. And they're like, the question to ask yourself is, if I was just about to take a trade, will I take this current trade that I'm in? Or am I just sitting in this trade because I'm hoping? And
yep.
I'm like, you know what? A lot of times I find out that I take trades that I'm just sitting down there hoping is going to reverse, hoping is going to turn around. So those are the things that really help me. Just people, faith, and also retrospective. Retrospect and just inspect and adapt the things that I did and learn from the things that did not work.
Hmm.
Absolutely. And I think
Speaking of that, yeah, go ahead, Matt. Sorry.
I think you brought up something that we've talked about in brief on this show before, but I don't think we've gotten in depth, and that's the importance of a good support system around you
Hmm.
as you're going through what is inevitably the trials and tribulations of becoming a trader. And even when you're consistently profitable, as we all know, you're going to have a day or a week where things just aren't really going your way. Either the setups aren't hitting or what. I mean, you've kind of answered this, but I'm going to ask it very directly. Just how vital is that support system to you, to your success in trading?
Hmm. Yeah, I can tell you that without that, I won't be here. Like I told you, my first week in real time trading, I made $15,000, and I lost it back in one day. Right,
Mhm.
that in itself was alone to just kill me. You know, but I had a support system that I had my friend who actually introduced me to trading. She's a very how do you call it? She's a very by the book person, very very rigid in her thinking, very scholastic. And she told me, she just called me out on it. She's like, listen, you don't listen, you don't pay, you don't listen, you're greedy and stuff like that. She just
Mhm.
called me out in a loving way, and she said, at the end of the day, just take a break, make sure you don't repeat this again and stuff like that, right? So that honesty, and people can tell you the truth, people that you also want to be truthful with, that can actually help you and hold you accountable. I don't really think you can go too far without any of such things in your life, because that's the only way you're going to be able to do well, and you're going to be able to bounce back from bad days. And I'm telling you, number 7 on the chart now, happy with that. But man, before getting there, it's taking me through many days of losses, many days of crying to myself and sobbing, and just just feeling like, what am I even good at? But being able to talk with people, being able to express myself and share, and I say this in a mild way, right? Hearing other people have similar experiences, not like I'm happy when people lose, right? But to hear that somebody else lost makes me feel, oh, so I'm not the dumbest in the room after all. you know Sometimes makes me feel like, oh, so this experience is common to us all, right? It's not the gods out there that are trying to catch me or something like that.
Mhm.
So
Victor, there's a pretty good question in the chat here from Joker13. He's asking, how long did it take you to be consistently profitable, and did you find it easier over time, or was it just like more clear for you on how you manage your emotions and your trades, etc.?
So I'll tell you that it became, so I started trading about 2019. I'll make some money here, lose some money there, make some money here. But it actually started clicking for me, believe me, in 2023. 2023 was when I became consistent at, getting money, getting payout, and stuff like that. Before then, also keep in mind, I'll just play a couple hours in a day, so I wasn't really going all hard. I just, I'll probably just trade like 2 hours in a day and stuff like that. But in 2023, for whatever reason, something just hit me, like a bag of whatever, just hit me in the head, and I'm like, you know what? We're going all on this. I'm going all in, and so it's been progressive. And I think it took me my own time in my own journey to get to a place of being comfortable taking risks and all of that, and the risk began to pay off in me being profitable. Yeah.
Got it. So you kind of like, did you start out trading full size contracts like NQ, and then you sized down to MNQ, or?
No, I started out trading ES.
Okay, got it.
And then after a while, I found MNQ. Just randomly one day, I was just playing around, like, okay, what other instruments are here? Then I saw gold, I saw CL. I was like, okay, we're trying everything this night. It was a Sunday night, I'll never forget. It was a Sunday night. It just started clicking for me. I'm like, you know what? Let me try. I'm gonna try all these instruments. And I was up like for the most part of the night, just fooling around with them. And I was like, NQ, this is the one for me. And then
This
I trade.
is the one for me.
Yes, this is the one for me. So I found I would trade 2 contracts, because remember, I was coming from ES, that was like $12.50, right? So I was like, I'll fool with 2 NQs, that's like $10. But then I realized that NQ was moving very fast. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with 2 NQs or 1 NQ. I don't really like MNQs except when I'm coming back from losing positions, or when I'm not feeling very confident. Then I go MNQ just conservatively. And sometimes when I'm feeling very happy, I go 4 MNQs. When I started with Tradeify, I was doing 4 MNQs because I had 150K accounts. So I was 6,500 or 7,500 stop loss. So, oh no, I'm going 4 NQs straight, and it was paying off, And when I get slapped, I dial it down. And I think this is what I think in my own little years of experience of trading, I've learned: if it's not working, dial it down. I don't think it's necessary to stay rigid to, oh, I trade 3 contracts, I trade 4 contracts. If it's not working, it's not working. Scale it back down. 1 NQ, that's fine. Sometimes 4 MNQs, it's okay, because at the end of the day, you want to win. You want to be net green. You want to be net green at the end of the day. So if you go full contracts, chances are that you're risking more. Chances are that you're going to lose more. But if you go small, you can chop the loss. Remember, My principle is chop the loss. If I take a loss, my goal is not to make it all back immediately. It will be nice to do, but my goal is chop it down gradually. $50, $100, $200. Before you know what's going on, you'll be back green. You pay more in commissions, but it's okay with me. As far as
Yeah.
as far as I end up green, I'm fine.
This is green is green,
Tough.
especially in this
Green is
market.
green.
It's been tough. It's been tough. But quick thing I want to mention here. I am in a long. I know Nick is also in a long here. I took a long here
Yep.
at 869.25. We did clear this trend line very well. I'm looking for ES to also clear above 60.40. We're getting the buying pressure actually on book maps as well. My target on this is actually going to be, I want to see how we do at the 30s on NASDAQ. I will be targeting the 50s, 950. So if we can get to that area, you know, we have this level here at 943 that what I would also want to see is clear, but I do have my stop well in the profits here. I might actually move it to this 89 area, but that's going to be my target here.
Nice. Yeah, I just moved my stop break even on this. I had a way worse entry than you did. I had my entry at 20. Wait, where we're sitting at 21,909, and I'm sitting at 15 points profit, so I'm moving break even as usual, and have a target for 3 micros at 936. Where do you have your target, Mariam?
I want to see how we're going to do at this 30 area right here. So 33 is a level of interest. Also 950 is a level of interest as well. So I'm kind of honestly trailing my stop as we enter these next 5-minute candles here. Again, well in the profits here, but I want to see, this is like a free trade for me. So whenever I'm in situations like this, I look at next areas of interest and I kind of monitor how the volume and the price action is doing. If I'm seeing that, you know, sellers are starting to step in, I'll just take my profit, no problem. But yeah, I think right now we're sitting nice. So I'm just gonna keep moving my stop really.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm actually jealous of you guys in the trade because I can see that, you know, market's been trending the green side, and you know, it went through my box. The only reason I didn't take a trade was because the news was coming and the market was blowing through in the green side before the news, and I didn't want to take a chance. But I feel like you guys were, you know, bold and brave to take the trade, and I think that was, you know, you were going with the run of play. So yeah.
It's difficult though. I commend you though, because it's also really hard to you know,
My hands.
yeah, it is very hard to stay disciplined. And you know, I agree, because I mean, you said it too. You said, I'm waiting for the news to come out. I want to see how the news is going to come out. And you know, you stuck to your plan, and that's something I also stuck with too. I think I actually entered this trade right after the news came out. So this is when it's important to really stick to your guns and you know, make sure that you're following your plan, because you know, there are days where you look at stuff like this, you're like, oh, I should have entered. I've had many of those days, but you know, at the same time, you're focusing on the bigger plan, right? Like for these, you know, I was already in the profits, so I was like, you know what, let's take a long here. I like this song, but that's not something that, you know, it kind of depends. Like you said, it depends. Are you up for the day? Are you willing to risk some profits on a trade? And you just kind of go from there. But always sticking to your plan is what's going to save you in the long term.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Couldn't have said that any better.
So then what would you be looking for here? What's an ideal setup for you?
Okay. Right. So right now, the setup I'm looking for, you already called out a point there in the 950 that I'm looking at. So I have a red line here, which is my overnight high at 943. I'm looking to see if the buyers make it there, and they're gonna drop at that point. Okay, so right now, because we've been seeing a whole lot of buy pressure, I am thinking that we're gonna start seeing some rejection at some point. I may be wrong, but in my mind, this point here at 21943 ish is where I'm going to be looking to see some possible reversal in the sell side. So I am thinking, you know, maybe I may be in a sell side later on, and I like to also see the view up here go red. Give me some confirmation that, you know, I'm in the right direction. Otherwise, the other thing I'm suspecting could happen is we would have sellers retrace, but the buyers are going to come back in the market. So if that's the case and I see that it's a retracement, then I probably will hold out until I can see another buy entry, and I'll take a buy and go long.
Fair enough.
Awesome.
I just got stopped out break even just for transparency's sake.
Okay, cool. That's nice because we're seeing some selling. We're seeing some selling pressure right now, right?
Yeah, yeah, there is some selling coming in on these candles. I'm gonna keep my stop where it's at. I do want to see us actually pop here. If buyers are serious, this is the area I would be looking for us to actually make a nice move back to the upside.
Exactly. See if they exactly see that box that I have on here. The sellers couldn't really break through that box, So it could be that buyers are packing around that 21,900 mark to take it back up again.
Yeah, and ES, this level is going to be that 60-40 level. 60-38 would probably be the line in the sand for me on ES to hold, in terms of it would be in confluence with this trend line, but also, it would start to show that, we're not interested in breaking these wicks to the upside. So right now we are holding. Next levels on ES, if you guys are in ES, would be 60-50, and then this area right here where we hit on Friday's highs. Not necessarily sure we're gonna get up there. I don't know. I kind of gave you guys my sentiment this morning. I don't know what your sentiment was this morning, Victor, but I'm a perma bear at heart. I love the downside move. Those are my favorite plays.
I know. I've been hearing you on the show. I know.
What are you? I gotta know. Are you a perma bear? Are you a bull? Or are you?
Nope. I'm not a bull. I'm not a bear. I just go where the money goes.
Okay,
what a diplomatic answer that was.
For real. No, but for real though. But for real. I mean, and I think it also goes back to the early introduction that I had to trading. The gentleman who was trading me, he said, "We're not bulls, we're not bears, we're risk managers." Okay,
Absolutely.
and so that's stuck in my head. So it's like whether the market goes up or goes down, you want to make data-driven decision and go where the data is going.
Oh, nice, Mariam.
Wow.
Sorry.
There you go.
Moving my stop up to 925 here. I want to.
Sorry, Victor. I didn't want to interrupt. But
No. You're absolutely perfect. And keep in mind, news came out. You see what I said? And news was coming at 9 as well. You see?
You're right. It is that 10 a.m. candle here at the New York session.
So that's what happened.
I'm going to move my stop. I'm moving it to 9:30. If this stops me out, it stops me out. This is where I start to get very specific with my trailing. So I am not messing around. I am not letting this go red. I mean, it's not going to go red regardless, but that 950 area was really that marker. Look how well we just went into that level, and now we're kind of rejecting it. Exactly. But I might get stopped out here. I just got stopped out on that play. So total on the day. Total on the day is 3,066 for the day.
Let's go.
Very nice.
Guys, give Mariam a W in the chat. W Mariam. Come on. Nice.
Fantastic. I'm hoping.
All right, guys. So we'll have Victor for a few more minutes here. If you guys have any other questions in the chat, go ahead and drop those in, and we will relay those. Anything catching your eye so far here, Victor?
Yeah, right now I'm looking at. I want to see some more retracement down, and then I'll probably go on a long. I'm having a long bias now. Yeah, I want to see them go down all the way to in the 30s, something like that. And then
Mariam, I just want to point out, two great trades, very strong day, both longs.
They weren't both longs.
The first one was
one of them was short.
Oh, the first one was short. Oh, well, you made the most money with a long, so
yeah. Okay. That's fair.
Victor,
never let the facts get in the way of a good story.
We're known at Tradeify TV that we have celebrities in the chat. We actually have Michael Jordan asking you, what is your risk to reward? 1-to-1 or 1-to-2 or something else?
So I like the 2-to-1. I like the 2-to-1. 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, but that's in theory. Honestly, for me personally, in real time when I'm trading, once I see a good spot for me is about $500, $550 on a trade, and once I see that, my brain just tells me to get out. My brain just tells me to get out, But when I let my ATM run, it's could be a good 2-to-1 ratio. That my risk to reward when it comes to setting up my um, stop loss and take profit, it's 2-to-1 ratio for sure.
2 to 1. Okay.
Well, nice.
It's a good area.
So
It's 2 to
I
1.
think to kind of sum everything up, and we've gotten so much, Victor. Everything you've broken down has been amazing, and I know the chat is getting a ton of value out of this. But I kind of want to sum things up because to take kind of the 10,000-foot view here. So you have a very systematic, data-driven approach to your trading. You have a methodology defined by your risk reward. You're a low volume trader. You're trading just hopefully a couple times a day, making your profit and walking away. And you have a strategy that you have used for quite some time. You are familiar with it and all the ins and outs with it. This is a common theme we've seen with our guests over the last few weeks. And I think it's interesting because every trader we have on has different styles and strategies. Maybe they just trade one instrument, maybe they trade multiple, but these seem to be some common themes in that people are very systematic. We're not just buying because we think it's going to go up or selling because we think it's going to go down. We have a defined strategy that has a defined series of items that need to be ticked off before we enter a trade. Does that kind of sum it up? Just your overall methodology? Okay.
Yes, indeed. And keep in mind, slow and steady wins the race.
That is correct.
Slow and steady wins the race, and it's all about also your profit target and what you're looking for long term, right? So for me, I have my profit targets broken down into days, weeks, months, and where I want to be at the end of the year, you see. So all those kind of things inform our trade from day to day.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so much of it. How do you feel like, I mean, I know now using Tradeify, you have a built-in journal, but is that something that has been a big part of your routine in trading? I mean, do you typically journal?
Yeah, so I won't say that I'm very religious with it, but I do journal. I have journal, and like you said, with Tradeify, you have the journal, and I try to review it, But what I also do is I take mental notes, and a lot of times, I'll say 8 out of 10 times, yes, I journal because I want to see, especially what didn't go well for me. And sometimes I want to highlight what went well. What did I do right? That makes me feel good with myself. So I can find ways to replicate it, right? And the things that didn't go well as well, I want to know so I don't repeat them again, So yeah, journaling is really, 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 really essential, It's essential, whether you're journaling to yourself or, like I said, chat to my friends. Yeah, I'm texting them, hey, this is what I did, and I'm reviewing my chats with them. At the end of the day, I'm like, oh man, this is not good. And we sit back and review together, like, oh, you did this, I did this, maybe we shouldn't do this again, type of thing. So journaling is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean, with the automated journal in Tradeify, I mean, super easy too, right? Because everything is automatically connected and stuff. So that's great that you use that. We see also, Victor, we have Brett here in the chat with us. He says, awesome having you live at Tradeify and live with us on TTV, Victor. So welcome from the boss.
Thank you very much.
Love that.
Yeah, the bars are going crazy this morning, actually. So this is looking like one of those days where I'm gonna have to be sitting down for a good while to be able to find an entry point. And I think it was you, Miriam, that asked the question about the whole idea of chasing the market and stuff like that. Back in the day, I would have been chasing this market, like, I want to get in, and sometimes I'll be right because the momentum is on the upside, and sometimes I may be wrong because I get in and it dumps on me, right? But for me this morning, I already know that the game plan is going to be sit down and wait a while. My instinct tells me that I may not get a good setup for another 30 minutes, based on historical records. It may take me another 30 minutes to find a good setup. I don't like things like that because it's disrupting my morning nap, But
Well, we hope we're not disrupting your normal routine here of taking.
no.
You
You're
normally
not
do
disrupting my
sleeping.
routine because this is my routine. This is what
That's
I
all right.
do.
He'll send us
already-
a bill later. It's fine.
Exactly. I already predefined that 9:45, 8:45 I wasn't trading, 9 a.m. I wasn't trading. So the earliest time I was going to be trading was going to be 9:15. I already predefined that. Like that was already set in stone for me. I already knew that, except if maybe God knock my head and tell me get in a trade or something like that. But I already predefined that, so I was comfortable. Sitting down with that, and I'm still very comfortable with that because there's still going to be a lot of money to make in the market today for sure.
Yeah.
If Miriam made $3,000, I sure can make $3,000. What you think?
Very possible. Yeah.
Especially if she made it on longs. Like, come on.
I know.
Exactly.
There's something wrong.
Knowing fully well that she has a self bias. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm
Victor,
flipping
that's
something
beauty.
from this show the next time she shit talks the Bulls.
But to
Victor,
your point, Victor, it's one of those where we joke about it, right? I joke about being a perma bull or perma bear.
Yes.
See, I'm even
I've
getting
heard
it
that
mixed up
before.
here.
I've heard
But-
that severally.
You can really, you really can catch both moves. I caught the shorts, I caught the longs, and that's how you position yourself to be a profitable trader. You're not just looking at one side of it. So
Absolutely.
Victor,
risk
I do
man.
have one last question from my end here.
Okay.
If you would talk to a complete newbie trader or let's say somebody who is not consistently profitable yet, has probably been doing it for a couple of months or maybe even years, but not consistently profitable. They're in your shoes back in the day. What advice would you give that person?
Ooh, good question. So the first thing is belief, right? You have to believe in yourself. You have to be able to believe in yourself that I can do this, right? And looking at my personal journey, there were times where the mental block was my own belief. I started doubting myself. So the first thing is believe in yourself that I can be successful, I can be profitable, right? When we settle that, then we can now go into strategies. Then the next thing will be reviewing what you've been doing over time. If it's not working, you got to stop it. And a lot of times people are not reviewing what they're doing, they just keep doing because there's just something about human beings that we just like to do, right? And so a lot of people are just keep doing, right? But the case is, no, don't just keep doing. Stop, analyze what you're doing, and be honest with yourself. Is it working? If it's not working and you're not being profitable, then we know it's not working. Then we have to now review and say, okay, what do we now need to do? So maybe if you've been going big contracts or something like that, maybe you need to scale back. Try the micros, win $10 a trade, win $20, win $50, right? And then get comfortable with the strategy or whatever strategy you're trying to deploy to trade. So to recap, I'll say 1, believe in yourself. 2, review what you've been doing over time, identify what's been working and what's not been working, and then define a new strategy and scale down and scale down in order to scale up. Meaning start with your micros, be consistent with your strategy, and then you can scale up to minis. And I think, in my opinion, those are the things that I personally did that kind of helped me. And I think the other thing, in maybe side by side with scaling down in order to scale up, will be maybe find the best instrument for you. Because for some people, maybe NQ is not for them because of the way it moves, right? So maybe ES is better for you. Maybe ZB is good for you, because when I got introduced to trading, I got introduced to ZB actually. ZB was $15 per tick, and those things move like molasses, Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe that's what you're comfortable. One of my friend who introduced me to trading, she trades only ZB. She's that, she's that kind of person. She's not going to fool with NQ for sure. ES is a big deal for her. ZB, she loves it, and she makes like, maybe 2 points and she's good because it's $15 per tick. So 1 point on one point on ZB is like $60. 2 points, it's like $120. So sometimes she's just looking for 3 points and she's good. She's done, gone, Not me.
He said, not me. But it's so true. You got to figure out like who you are as a trader. Like, what is your trading personality like? And if you're the type of person that, you can't sit on your hands, you can't wait, like maybe being in a slower moving stock or indice or whatever it is going to be good for you to teach you that sort of patience.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I wish I could take a trade on today for people to see that I actually trade real time, but
No, we believe you.
I'm number 7 on the chart, so
Yeah,
hey,
there
listen,
you go. Yeah,
I trade.
we
I
put that up
trade.
every day, so they'll see
And
it.
I'm not scared to take a trade, just in case people are watching. I'll be like, oh, is it because it's live? He's scared to take a trade? No, I predefined before the trade that I'm not going to take a trade until at least after the 9 o'clock news. You know, so that's why I'm not in the trade. So apologies for anybody who was, you know, hoping that the guy they brought on stage today will take a trade, will see it. It just didn't work like that today.
No,
All right.
And
well,
that's okay too, right? That's totally fine.
I'll be back again another day. I'm sure they'll bring me back.
I will tell you this. You don't have a choice. You are required now to be back on the show at some point.
And I will be back for sure.
How well this has gone. We really appreciate hearing from you today, Victor, and I know our chat absolutely loved it. It was really cool hearing your trading journey, and hopefully that gave people a lot of hope that no matter what you go through, that you can have some success with that. So, guys, let's get another W in the chat for Victor. And I don't think goes beyond the simple golf clap. I think we got to do the out loud clap for Victor today. Victor, we really appreciate having you on the show. Truly look forward to hopefully having you back someday.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you so much to Nick. Thank you very much to Miriam, Matt. I appreciate you guys so very greatly. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Victor. Everyone give him his props in the chat. We appreciate that. Thanks again, Victor.
Go take your nap now.
Yeah.
I need to make some money. We're going to take a nap. Miriam, I'm chasing you now. I need to be able to drop you a message and say, listen, you know, I was trailing you very badly, you know. So, Miriam, get ready to hear from me when I hit $3,000.
I'm here for it.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge. I love challenges. So, Miriam drew first blood today.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we'll be having you on very much in the future. So we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Go enjoy your day.
Thank you for the good work. Thank you for the good work you guys are doing over here. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Victor.
God bless you all. Yes. Bye.
All right, guys. You know what time it is. It is time for marble racing, but only if we get to what do we have here? 500 people. Yeah, let's get to 550 likes. So smash that like button really quick, and let's get us to 550 likes so we can do the next marble race and give away 3 more accounts. And yeah, everybody saying W in the chat. Definitely agree. Like, Victor is such a good sport, such a great guy. And as you know, number 7 on the leaderboard. So thank you to Victor for being here. But now go smash that like button and get us to the 550 so we can do the next giveaway.
Absolutely.
So while we're waiting for that, Miriam, why don't you take everybody kind of through your entry on this trade? Because I know it happened while Victor was talking. So why don't you just kind of review, because it was a fan-freaking-tastic trade. So I think we need to at least have you review your entry on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go back to my NASDAQ chart. So I took 2 trades today. And you know, one of them was the short. You know, you guys saw that short. It broke my trend line at this 815 level. I was actually watching
just a second to get your chart up on the screen there. I don't think anything is. There we go. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So that, you know, we quickly got this move to the downside here in the open. This is the 5-minute chart of the NASDAQ. So, you know, one thing I was monitoring was VWAP. I was also kind of looking at book maps here on my charts on the side. I was watching the order flow. I was seeing a lot of selling pressure come in. So I was waiting for us to actually break this trend line. Now, I didn't want to enter right away. I kind of waited for a pullback on the 2-minute, and I entered at the 800 level. So I entered at the 800. I think my entry was at 799, actually 799.25. And then you know, just it was a quick scalp. This was a quick one. Now, I told you guys in the beginning, a safer entry would have actually been down here at the 725. Why? Because this demand zone right here is a 1-hour demand zone. It's a very small zone, but look at how well we held this level. Like, I could not even make this up. Like, almost to the tick, we just held this demand zone. So as I was seeing us, you know, kind of pop into this, I told you guys I had my stop. And once we started getting the move back up, I was like, all right, bulls are not messing around in this area. So once we got the move back up above, this VWAP level here, I was watching this 47 area. This 47 area was a key zone for me. And then I actually got in. Let me see if I can just open my positions here. So I actually got in at this 67 zone. So this was my entry. I took 2 minis on the 67.75 as we got this nice little 3-bar up move. So we got a move up, a little bit of consolidation, and then we started to get this push up. So I got in right at the clear of the red 2-minute candle here. So I got the push up, and then I just sat in this trade. And then obviously as we started to make the move, we got through this trend line. This is kind of like my target. I was watching for us to clear this trend line. I was watching ES also on book maps clearing this 37, this 40 area. So once we got the clear, I was very happy staying in this position. Now I did take one off at this 901.25. The reason I took some off was because not only is it a psychological level, but I did see some sellers sitting at book maps. So I did take a piece off at 901, but at that point I was in the profit. So I just, I held my stop, and I wasn't honestly anticipating this move that we're getting right now, especially into the 2000 level. But it is what it is, and you got to look at these trades and say, did I manage this well, or did I kind of like fumble into it? And I think I managed this pretty well. For me, I looked at this rejection that we got of this 65 area, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to mess around with this. So I took my profit, and as you can see, we're making a very, very beautiful move now to the upside. But this was kind of what I was looking for, guys. I wasn't anticipating it was going to happen, but right now, I mean, if I was still in this trade, I would be targeting Friday's highs. I would be targeting this 122, 130 area. There's no reason at this point. I mean, anything can happen, of course, but really that's my target. That would be what I'm looking for. And now that we've kind of hit this supply zone, let me zoom out here. Now that we've kind of hit this supply zone multiple times, it kind of makes it weaker. So in my opinion, if bulls are serious, if bulls are strong, I see no reason for us not to actually clear this area and clear through Friday's highs. And then from there, we really have some room. So, yeah, I'm not looking to take any more trades today, especially on a Monday. But these were my sort of analysis for the day. So
Nice.
definitely it pays to have a good analysis, but at the same time, you got to sometimes just like pull the trigger. So
Yeah.
so I'm done
Yeah,
for
but
the day.
very nice trade. Very nice trade. Congrats, Miriam. That was
Thank you,
great.
thank you.
Also, 37 more likes, guys, and we're gonna do a marble race. So smash that like button really quick if you haven't already. And we don't mean the heart button in the chat. We mean the actual thumbs up button right below the video. Smash that really quick, 550, and we're gonna do 3 account giveaways right away with a clean and fun marble race. Well, clean is probably the wrong word, more like a chaotic marble race.
Yeah.
Also, guys, we are very close to 13,000 subscribers, and I don't know, maybe we hit that level and we can hit up the boss for a couple of extra giveaways either today or tomorrow. So again, I wait for the end of the show to do this, guys, but make sure you tell somebody about this channel, about this show. Word of mouth is way more valuable than any kind of advertising dollars. But and I also will give another tease now that I know a lot of people are here. At the very end of today's show, we're making a very big announcement regarding the future of Tradeify TV. So make sure you stick around for that. I will say, guys, before we jump into the marbles here in a minute, I just want to kind of come back to that point I made while Victor was still on, is that we are seeing now we've had 8, 9, 10 guests on, all successful, consistently profitable traders. It seems like we're now seeing common themes emerge, right? Not only with them, but in our trading and our experience as well. And again, I'm sure they exist, but we don't have anybody on this show that makes 50 trades a day, 100 trades a day, is going in, for these insane risk to reward ratios. We're key, that are just buying and selling randomly. We have people who have very systematic approaches, very controlled position sizes. I mean, we haven't, I know they're out there, but we haven't done a lot of traders that are doing 5, 10, 15 minis yet. We're staying consistently in the 1 to 5 mini area. Again, a methodology that's clearly defined, that is Victor said, data-driven decision making. these are common themes, and yet none of these traders have the same strategy. I think that's a very important point to make. When you have 10 people, 10 different strategies, maybe there's some similarities, but 10 different strategies, and they're all making money. What does that tell you? The constant in trading is not the strategy. Yes, you have to have a statistically profitable strategy, a strategy with an edge, without a doubt. But it's these other things, guys, that just seem to be common themes that we've had too many people on now. This is not a statistical anomaly. It is a pattern.
Yeah, that's for sure. Also, we just hit 550 likes. So let's do our first marble race of the day, guys. We're going to give away a 50K advanced account. We're going to give away a 50K growth account and a 25K straight to funded. And today we're just going to do top 3. So top 3 marbles are going to get these accounts, like one each, obviously. So we do it as usual. You have to make sure you have liked the stream. You have to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And for Victor, because he was here with us today, you have to type the keyword number 7, no space in between, just number and then the actual number 7, no space in between. Good luck, guys.
Good luck, everyone.
I just put it in the chat too, so you can see it. Well, now you can't see it anymore.
Yeah, most of them are getting it right. Most of them are getting it right, so that works.
Yeah, most of them. I realized while I said it, I was like, that is actually complicated. Miriam, how are you feeling now? Are you excited? Are you calm as usual? Are you like, because you're I think that's your highest day on the stream so far, right? Your biggest day.
Yeah,
Biggest day period on the stream.
Yeah, no, I mean, so one of the things I always learn about trading is like tomorrow's a new day, right? If I go in today with too much of a big head because I made a good day, it's not going to help me tomorrow. So I've definitely learned to just, enjoy the win while it's there, but go enjoy my day. Like I think on days like this, a lot of people get too inflated and they think, oh, I can just go in and add on to another trade and make bigger money because now I have a nice cushion. Well, what's the point in that, right? Mm-hmm. So I think for me, I've just learned to accept it. I'm happy about this trade, but either way, it's not like, I'm not going to go and celebrate and go buy myself a, really nice bag. No, we're not doing any of that. Tomorrow's a new day. This just sets us up for the week. And you got to look at it from that perspective that, tomorrow's a new day and the rest of this week could come with very interesting movements. So, we're grateful for this, but at the same time, let's just clear our heads and get ready for the next day.
Last trade, next trade. That's exactly right. Is there a certain threshold that you will hit that maybe then you will treat your fiance to a day in LA?
LA?
Well, she's gonna buy an extra large matcha today. I know that.
We'll get there eventually, but no, we're not treating anything to LA. That's there's no treating happening there. But yeah, it's.
I do that would throw you right off.
You definitely did. Oh man. Yeah.
You can buy an extra large matcha today, so.
I could probably get like 6 in LA.
Yeah.
Go to Erewhon and just.
I think it is important though to talk about, guys. When you have nice days, I appreciate. Miriam's got a great attitude about this. You're appreciative of it. You executed. You followed your plan. You made some good money. I always say, guys, we don't do big celebrations on big days or big celebrate, but take a moment and just acknowledge if you pass your first trading eval, guys. That's a nice moment. I'm not saying you go throw a 3-day party. You haven't put any money in your bank account yet, right? But take a moment and just kind of mentally pat yourself on the back. Take 2-3 minutes, enjoy it, then on to the next one. Take your first payout, guys. Obviously, some people I know take payouts, they pay some bills with them, or they, restock some savings. And we're not saying go blow, if you take a $5,000 payout, don't go blow it all on something, but go buy a candy bar or an extra large matcha or something, just acknowledge it. And again, the grind is so real in this business, guys. And the time it's going to take you to get to consistently profitable, it'll vary, but what is the constant is hours and hours of work. So hundreds, if not thousands of hours of work. So when you have a small success, guys, do take a moment and acknowledge it. And then let's work towards the next one.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think at that point we're ready for the next marbles race. And Matt, you actually don't have to do the countdown.
I don't do the
because-
countdown anymore. No.
Because we have the Mario Kart countdown now that producer Drew here in the background, shout out to producer Drew, has been crushing it, finding sound effects. So yeah, I mean, let's go. Let's roll them. What does he have in store for us today?
Yeah, what sort of craziness?
Okay, a
What
snowflake.
animal insides are we in today?
Oh
We're in a
gosh.
snowflake now. Darren Hansen in the lead, Iris second, runner-up, Shukufuku runner-up right now. Oh, looping, there we go. Nice, I like this one. Now in some sort of a little labyrinth here, but Darren is already through, going through the cannon. Damn.
Damn.
Drew pulled a special one out today.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. LA.
LA.
Are we in LA?
Are we in LA?
LA.
My favorite
Oh,
bit of
that
that
one will
is
get
where
old.
he's talking about the hiking. It's just like, it's just walking.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you been to Runyon Canyon?
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh shit, what is that? Cannon to teleportation.
Oh, we got
Ooh.
people falling off left and right here.
People.
Man.
Gotta hold on. Kelvin Lau in the lead. Closely followed by Mayo. Oh, Mayo now in the lead.
What is...
Oh, and so many people dying. Holy cow. Drew, you
Their
murderer.
marbles are dying. Let's be specific
Yeah,
here.
like-
We might have World War III on the horizon. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want to.
true.
Let's not get canceled here on.
I'm talking about marbles, guys. I'm childish. So Mayo took the W. Let's see who's the runner-up. All right, I think we got the 3 winners. We got Mayo first place. Then we got who we got? FII FX and SR Flip. Congratulations, guys.
Congrats, guys.
You won. We have for Mayo the 50K advanced account. Then we have for FII FX the 50K growth account, and for SR Flip the 25K straight to funded account. Guys, make sure to type something in the chat really quick, and then add your email address into your YouTube channel description so we can see it and actually reach out to you to send you your accounts. But congrats, everybody.
Congratulations.
Wow, boy, we've had a lot of knowledge dropped on this show. A couple of really nice trades. This has been this has been great so far. Boy, talk about just shrugging off all the concerns. That first candle looked nasty, and I think as nasty as it was, guys, that first 5-minute candle after the New York Open, I think we kind of understood there's probably going to be a little bit of a bounce back there, but boy, almost an engulfing candle on the second 5-minute, and we've been basically straight up since then, although we're kind of consolidating up here at about the 22,000 level. We've made a couple of runs above it. We just don't seem to have the momentum yet. I don't know what you're seeing on Bookmap over there, Marion, but I don't know if there's some sellers or buyers building up here, but it seems like we're not quite ready to break 22K yet.
Yeah, this 22K is going to be a key area. You can see here, even on ES, this 60-60 level is also going to be a very significant level. On ES, like I said in the beginning, this area. I'm sorry, ES's chart looks a lot stronger to me than Nasdaq's. You can see we are a lot closer to Friday's highs than we are on the Nasdaq. If Friday's highs are sitting at this 60-70 level, whereas on Nasdaq we still have a ways to go. We have about 100 points or so, a little more than that. So, you know, on Nasdaq, I would want to see more of a push. I think ES wants to take Friday's highs, but this 22K is going to be a very significant level that we are going to have to break above. I think if we get the move up here, this tail right here that we put on the 15-minute is not very enticing. It's more of a doji style candle, but I would want to see 965 hold. I think at minimum this 945 level on the Nasdaq. We have the 9 EMA sitting here at the 25s. But I think if we start to kind of like make this move down, it's not going to look too good. I think we start to really see some selling pressure coming in. We could try to retest the open. The open would be where I would be looking for. Otherwise, a retest of this trend line, possibly VWAP. But once we start breaking these levels to the downside, which I don't anticipate happening today, unless we get some sort of catalyst from, whatever's going on in the world, then I think, we could obviously come down and retest this demand zone and then possibly the 725. I think 725 is going to be that level that I would be looking for any sort of move to the downside. Again, don't see it really happening today, but this 22K is going to be something we have to keep on watch. I think if ES gets the move up to the 60-70, Nasdaq will have a nice pop up as well. But yeah, this supply zone sitting at this 22,100 area is also going to be key, because I think if we hold 22,000, you got a good shot. You got a good 100-point shot, to this area. So it's gonna be on watch this week for me for sure.
Miriam, you know what number is better than 22K? 13K, because we just hit 13K subscribers. Let's go.
Let's go. I
Wow.
love it. I was waiting for like a smart ass joke, so I'm like, I don't know how to.
I kind of was too, and I'm a little disappointed. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Although you've got a better
If it
chance
was
of an honest
Matt- if it
comment
was
coming
Matt,
from
I
Nick
would
than you do
definitely
from me,
not
so
say
it's
a
fine.
word, but yeah, let's
thanks, guys.
go.
Thanks, guys.
13K.
Let's grow
I'd
this
love to
further
see
so
it.
we can get on Brett's ass and get some more giveaways.
Brett's probably taking a nap right now.
Yeah, he was up for the last 50 hours. It's Brett's work ethic is unmatched. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, this guy's trading, like taking care of a family, taking care of us.
Yeah, and every
he
time he
literally
hits
away-
big profits in trading, we hear about it too. I mean,
Yeah.
we're happy for him, but it's like, nothing like waking up and Brett's already bragging about making a bunch of money.
Oh, we love to see it.
That's what it's
We
all
just threw
about.
up a poll here, guys. Should we do another giveaway today?
Oh, I mean, yes plus yes equals yes. Yes.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
Yes.
And ally?
Well, we're gonna give away a trip to LA.
Well, that
No
would
one
be a
will
sick
take it.
giveaway. That would be a sick giveaway, just for a matcha and then right back home.
Yeah. Jeez. You can spend a lot of money in LA on absolutely nothing.
And where?
LA.
LA.
Sorry, I said it wrong.
Nobody knows what you're talking about then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've entered some sort of consolidation zone. The 1 minute looks really, really ugly right now. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It's waiting time again. So we need to have something to entertain the people, guys. So
Well, I'm kind of curious. Like, how did everyone do today? Mondays.
oh yeah,
You guys have watched the streams. You'll know Mondays are not my days. So for me to have a good day on a Monday is not normal. But I'll take it. But I'm curious. How did everyone do today?
let's
Hop in the
see.
chat. Are we green on the day? Did we make some money?
That's a green baby. Congrats, Iced Matcha Coffee King.
Past 3 evals, says Matthew Marino.
Super green
Congrats.
so far with Perro Loco.
Oh, Don says he's not a fan of California there, Miriam. I don't.
You know what? Sometimes I'm not either.
Joker says green, but posts a blue heart. I think he's colorblind.
I don't
AC
think there's any
Media.
place- I don't think there's any place I've been in this country I don't like some aspect of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
California's
AC
nice,
Media
Florida's
green.
fun, Minnesota's anywhere, man. There's a lot of cool stuff happening here.
So RJ is up 69 whopping dollars. Oh, you can join my club. I'm up $4. Leah is green. Stefan is green on 2 funded and 3 evals. Trader 007 green. God,
I'd really like a
Ron.
pullback to +1 standard dev here, guys. I don't know if we're going to get it because we got to go down about 50 points, but I would love, because that puts us right at a couple of key areas there. I think that's kind of that 935 to 950 level is, I think, a real big decision-making point. We're going to break below it and retrace some of this big move up, or I would probably be long bias at that point. There's just, again, it's all about value, guys. There's just not a lot of value up here if you weren't like Miriam participating in the initial run up.
Yeah, it's one of those where you have to be very, very specific with your entries and just watching. I watch all sorts of things when I'm trading, which is, it's definitely changed the type of trading that I do, being on Tradeify TV. But I'm watching all sorts of things. I got to keep my eyes. I told you guys, keep your head on a swivel. But I'm definitely watching all sorts of things when I'm looking at these trades. But these are, I agree with you, Matt. I think that 925 to 935 area is going to be an interesting level for bulls if we can't hold above that. Right now we are just doing not much right now.
That's the 4-hour candle open as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
All right.
Change my charts a little bit.
So
Nick,
we do
anything you're looking at? I know you got your bear flags and your bull flags.
Yeah, I mean, there was a small one right here before, but the risk to reward just wasn't there, so I didn't take it. Right now, we're more in sort of a consolidation zone, so I do not consider this a bull flag, right? I would wait for, and that means I got to be a bit more patient, even more. I'm waiting for a break of this, then another consolidation, and then that would be my entry. So let's see if that happens today. I don't expect it. I had my break-even trade. I sent it before, right? If we go to my trade away charts here really quick, the entry was okay-ish. I entered it at 21,909.50, but then when I was 15 points in profit, I moved the break-even, and that killed me. Literally like that one candle, and then afterwards it ripped. So that's life, I guess. Life.
That's life.
It's life.
What all the people say.
Oh well. Yeah, but you had a sick entry there at what was it? 670, 870, or what was it?
67.
67 even. Yeah, that was great. Fantastic.
This is Tradeify TV American Idol edition. Thank you.
Hey, don't get me started because I will bust out into music.
I would definitely be the Simon on that panel, by the way, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's for sure. That is for sure.
Like Nick would be, like the positive guy like that. Miriam, very upbeat personality. So, and then I'd just be like, that was rubbish.
Yeah, bollocks.
Bloody awful.
I'm here for it. We can. Hey, we got a lot of talk about what we should be doing with Tradeify TV in the future. We got.
I will tell you, we're 40 some minutes away from about 45 away from that announcement. That's
So the announcement is actually that we're gonna launch TGT, Tradeify Got Talent, and everybody can apply with their special talent. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
That was tomorrow's announcement, Nick. Way to spoil.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Matt.
Yeah, that's all right. Sorry. That's all right. I will yell at you off stream.
But it would be fun though, like a trader talent show. I mean,
who in the chat's got some sort of weird special talent? Make sure you.
Let
I
us
don't know. Yeah.
If it's something like really funky and bizarre, you don't put it unless you're willing to post a video of you doing whatever it is. So.
I already know.
Got a good voice. I'd love to. We should do a singing competition here. Why not?
Matt wants to flex. Matt's special talent is doing Dr. Phil impressions.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I do not know what you're talking about.
We got talents coming in now. We have iGamer4TV. He can spit bars about the chart.
Oh.
Then
okay.
Joker 13 getting stopped out 95%.
Does burning accounts count as one? You guys are hilarious. Oh,
my talent is getting stopped out in one candle.
This chat gets us. They really do. Because we're not getting a lot of special that just coming in with a lot of snark and a lot of funny comments. So yeah, no, you guys get us. I appreciate it.
We got Yasir. I have a talent. Going 9 green days and blow everything in the last day.
It seems like a lot of the talents are losing money in trading.
Yeah. We set ourselves up for that one.
Yeah. Actually, guys, the poll for should we do one more giveaway later is saying 52% yes plus yes equals yes. So I think we're going to do another one later.
I think the
I want
answer
to know where
Later.
background Nick learned math.
Well, I mean, he's full
Shouldn't it be-
porting
shouldn't it
accounts, so
be-
probably nowhere.
Shouldn't it be 2 yes or yes squared? No, that'd be yes times yes. Okay. Well, that's, you know.
It would be a 2y plus 2e plus 2s.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
But that's with multiplication.
That's how I hear it in my voice.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
All right. That's what it is.
I just
Oh,
know
shit,
that that's
TD.
outside the-
TD Garage, I blown an account the payout day. Nobody can do that. That hurts. That hurts. But yeah, we got some special talents in the chat. This chat is unmatched anyways. Like, guys, you're killing it. So thank you for entertaining us while we try to entertain you. That's perfect. It's a match made in heaven.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're getting a little push back up towards 22K. We've gotten over it on 3 separate 5-minute candles, now 4, but we
Getting
have
some
not
buying
been able to
coming.
kind of sustain that momentum there.
Yeah, every time we
That
keep
is-
getting some buying pressure coming in, we just kind of stall. I think we need a nice volume candle to step in here, but yeah, right now keeps getting the rejection. I don't see a lot of sellers sitting at this 22,000, so I do feel like, you know, if bulls want it, they can take it. We do have room up to this 22,050 area. That's the only level I see next sellers sitting at. So we're getting some buying coming in here. So I think they're gonna try to hold it.
Yeah, that's
We're also
what I
near
said
6K
before.
on the SPX as well. So
Say that
That's
again.
what I said before. Sorry, what, Matt?
we're
me.
right at the 6K level as well on the SPX. So
there we
that's
go.
something to keep an eye on.
There we
Good
go.
point,
No, that's
yeah.
what I said before when you asked me, Miriam, what I'm looking for right now. If we go to my charts really quick, remember I drew this little mini trend on here in the 1 minute, and I said if this is going to break, I'm not going to take it because I do not expect an immediate follow through. What I would wait for again is a push up, then some sort of a consolidation, aka bull flag, and then that would be the push I would take, and potentially top tick. But hey, let's see.
They don't call you Top Tick Nick for nothing.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, the Photoshop guy did a Nick Wick one though. I wonder what the top pick Nick one would look like.
You blew that up in a poster and put it on your wall, didn't you?
Oh, for real? Yeah, I gifted it to my entire family too.
Did you give them signed copies, or are they not worthy of that yet?
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
Only if they're all subscribed to Tradeify TV.
Absolutely. Well, there's them and 13,000 others now.
Very true.
Love it.
Guys, if you want, you can also put some questions in the chat and we'll pick the best ones and answer those. And for the next giveaway, because you heard Background Nick, shout out to Background Nick at this point. You heard him, but you saw him put out that poll and it's a yes plus yes equals yes. So in order for us to do that giveaway, let's get the stream to 700 likes, all right? So 101 more. So that means go hit that thumbs up button right now. Not the heart button in the chat, but the actual thumbs up button. And here comes the push for the thumbs up button. So
Wow. I just realized
We're going
Tesla
up.
made a really nice move up today as well.
yeah, it's up. Tesla is up 10% today.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Just to like straight up from the open. No,
Tesla is
No
a meme
chance.
stock. This is crazy. 10% in a day.
Well, it's off Tesla. It's on the news feed said Tesla highs following robo-taxi headlines over the weekend. So they're deploying some limited
sense.
robo-taxis down in Texas, and we'll see how that goes.
Was that
Let's
pop
see.
on any sort of news that we just got right now that you can see?
I'm not seeing anything come across right now. There's been I've seen a couple of comments about from Iranian officials, like, saber rattling a little bit. The United States was going to pay for that. All right, like, stop talking, bro. If you're going to do something, do it.
Do it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Basketball. It's by the South Park guys. It's an old kind of cult classic, but the two guys keep making fun of this one character, and the one character's like, I'll tell you, if you guys make fun of me 13 or 14 more times, I'm out of here. That's kind of what it's feeling with Iran right now. It's like, hey, all right, make 10 or 12 more comments and I'll believe you,
Matt, we have a good question for you.
Yeah,
Nice
head and shoulders or Pantene. Well, I love a good head and shoulders pattern. I don't know what a Pantene pattern is. You're going to have to explain that.
How many screens do we trade with? I trade on 2 screens. How about you, Matt and Mary?
Well, I have 2 set up on the new PC, but I'm adding another one later today, so I will have 3. 3, I think, for a day trader is about a nice sweet spot. Any more than that, it's hard to keep track of the information. 1 is not enough. 2 is good for some people if you're trading just 1 or 2 basic strategies. I'm running 1440 on all my monitors too, so it gives you a little extra room. I haven't found a lot of charting software plays great with straight up 4K yet. I don't know that they've really kind of gotten on board with that. But 1440 is a really nice, between 27 and 32 inch monitors. That's a really nice, I think, sweet spot for traders as far as hardware.
Mary, what about you?
So I have 2 monitor, well, technically 3. So I use 1 small monitor on my left, and then I have my right side monitor, and then I have my little laptop. But I have a lot going on actually. I have like my book maps on one side, and then I have our chats and everything on this side, and then I enter my positions, and then I watch my screen. So yeah, a lot going on here, but I do need I need to switch it up because it's there's a lot going on. So then I see you guys right here.
I apologize for that.
If you guys only get 1 indicator to trade with, what indicator would you guys use? Avawa is asking. I think I would use
1 indicator to use.
It's a hard decision between 2. One is VWAP, obviously, and the other one is the Spaceman BTC key levels, because it just makes it so easy to identify all the key levels. So I'll just answer your question with 2 indicators. VWAP and Spaceman BTC it is.
Yeah,
VWAP for me. One. Just VWAP for me.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. 1 indicator. I don't know, because sometimes like I don't want to say something lame, so I'm just gonna say I don't know. I actually don't know how to answer that.
She says I don't want to say something lame, and then follows with
right.
I don't know.
I want to say VWAP too, but it's also like, I don't know. There's some days that VWAP just doesn't work.
Well, like today, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you would support resistance be an indicator, I guess you can argue.
Basic support and resistance, I think, is just determined on charts. I'm going to use VWAP not always because it's tradable, because like you said, there's like days like today, we're just not respecting VWAP, but it's always helpful for me in terms of just understanding where price is in relation to other things. Like basic support or resistance, you can draw on a chart, so I wouldn't consider that an indicator unless there's some certain algo or something behind it. It doesn't take an algo to look at a 4-hour chart of the NQ and understand where the support and resistance is. We covered that at the very beginning of the show. But VWAP, and especially expansions off of +1, +2, or -1, -2 standard deviation, help us understand how stretched out price action is. And I think, again, as a reformed chaser, that's going to be instrumental in helping me stay out of trades where I would otherwise be chasing. That's why I would pick that.
I'm just laughing at some of these comments. Yeah, I agree with that. I think you could argue that support resistance is technically an indicator. So I would use that, because I think in terms of strength of if I didn't have anything on my charts, if I just cleared everything out, that would be the strongest indicator to me, is where are buyers sitting, where are sellers sitting. You know, VWAP gives a general overview, and it's a great, I have it on my charts. I use VWAP, I use the EMAs, but you know, some days for me, I can purely look at a candle and tell you what is happening in that candle. And I think there's a lot that goes into just being able to read a candlestick. There's traders that I know that don't use any indicators. They don't use volume, they don't use VWAP, MACD, none of that. They literally just look at what the candlestick is doing, and that's how they trade, and that's how they enter their trades. That's how they get out of their trades. You know, for me, I've learned ways to help me as a trader, and ways that don't help me as a trader. And I've learned that the more indicators you use, the more cluttered your charts become, and the more cluttered your mind becomes, and that's when you start to trade like shit. So yeah, the less indicators you can use, the best, but always start at the fundamentals, and you know, look at what is the price action actually telling you. But yeah, I guess VWAP or support resistance would be my choice.
That's a good question, though.
It is a good question. Indeed.
Yeah, very good.
Guys, make sure that you smash the like button really quick, because I want to give away more accounts. But you have to like. We got to get to 700. We can do it. It just, if everybody likes it, we're going to be there in a second. You just have to like go to the screen really quick if you have it in the background, and you hit that like button, and that's it. Super simple. We're gonna do a pretty good giveaway for the last one.
All right, guys. So we've got we'll be with you for another 40 minutes or so. We've got a giveaway. We have got a very important announcement coming in about that 40 minutes. We're going to do it right at the end of the show. I think we'll probably let Miriam make it, since she's the high earner on the day. But yeah, it's stick around. You guys are going to like it. But yeah, we also have a giveaway, guys. This is a great opportunity for questions as well. Again, guys, as we every show, our chat gets a little bit busier. We get a few more people creeping in here or there. So while you have us and this ability to ask these questions, now is the time to do so. Reform Chaser.
Also, we got word from the king himself, from Brett Simba, that there is actually going to be in the future, very near future, there's going to be 2 major positive rule changes here at Tradeify. That's going to be very exciting, very, very positive for traders. So make sure you look out for that, and you join Discord so you actually see when they're announced. But it's going to be good. It's going to be very good, and very soon.
Yeah, guys, and just in general, if you're not part of the Tradeify Discord, especially if you have a Tradeify account, we really encourage you to join that. You just go to tradeify.co. There should be a link, I believe, at the top and bottom of the page, if I recall, to join the Discord. It's free to join. And if you're not, a big Discord person, you don't like being in there every day or all that, that's fine. But that's the best way to, if there's like when we had the big Tradeify Tradeovate outages a couple weeks ago that were affecting Tradeivate, doesn't matter if you were a prop firm or not, that's where you're going to go and get that information. And that, because one of the first things we always deal with as traders, if we're not getting data or something's wrong, we always want to know, is it an us like a me problem, or is it a firm problem or something else? So I highly encourage you to jump into the Tradeify Discord. Again, go to tradeify.co and click on the link at the top of the page that takes you to our Discord.
Absolutely.
Yep. Where are we with the likes? Let me refresh this really quick, because I want to do another marbles race. That's my favorite part.
I think that's actually my best indicator, is a marbles race.
There you go.
Every time we get into one, something happens in the market. So that's my answer. Final answer.
Marbles race indicator.
Layout, we'll always see your questions. Don't even worry about that. You're here every day and very positive. We truly appreciate you being here. All of our regulars, we love you guys.
All the regulars, for sure. And if you're not a regular yet, well, become one. Just show up again tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, and so on. And so on. All right, we're sitting in that consolidation zone right now. As I said, I think 20 minutes ago or so, we're just literally doing nothing here except building up liquidity. So it's waiting to, well, maybe we break down now. That would be funny.
We're holding 960 area on the NASDAQ. ES is kind of starting to struggle a little bit. But I think the 60-40 area is still going to be a key level. 60-40 to 60-35, but selling pressure is kind of starting to pick up here on book maps. So let's see.
That would be nice. Literally saying, hey, maybe it's going to break down now, and then boom.
You're
I mean,
looking for
to
that.
be fair, at some point we have to come sort of back to VWAP, right? Maybe.
Do we? Do we have to?
Maybe.
Market's like, you want to see some shit?
And then pumps another 300 points.
Yeah, the market's like, go ahead and go short, asshole.
Yeah. Go ahead and bottom tick me. I dare you.
We're at the 960 level again now. Let's see if it
Yeah, we're
holds.
moving down towards that +1 standard deviation band.
What's that level for you, Matt? It's 930 area?
So let me check here. So the +1 standard deviation point is at 948. The band extends up to 57 and down to 39. So we've now come into this this band here, and so we did have not quite tapped +1 standard deviation. I was kind of hoping for a little more of a drift down here rather than a candle that takes us most of the way there, because that is we come up here to +2 standard deviation and then just sort of drift down to +1. That's pretty close to an A+ setup for me. Again, you don't necessarily want to go in the opposite direction of a candle like this, right? This is a kind of I mean, let's see where we close in 214 here, but pretty, at least thus far, decent selling candle. So you don't want to go against this candle per se without seeing a little bit of it negated, but you also don't want to, again, chase the move. And I found I don't have a lot of success shorting above +1 standard deviation. So I'm usually long bias at that point. But it looks like we're at least right now bouncing off that band. But again, we got just under 2 minutes on this candle, so we'll see where we end up from there.
Yeah, I like it. We are kind of forming a not so amazing trend line, but this is the area I would really be looking for us to break. If we open below this like 950 zone on the 2 minute or even the 5 minute, not going to be looking too great for the bulls, in my opinion. So especially that we've been rejecting this 22,000 area. But yeah, we would have room. We would have a lot of room down.
But also 21,937 is the previous week mid. So I'm preaching that level all the time. Previous week mid is extremely strong.
Yeah, I see that. I see that now. See, this is why I love trading with you guys, because you guys see levels that I might not see, and it's so important having a community, or at least people that you can bounce ideas off, because there could be something you don't see. So that's always good.
Well, and I loved Victor bringing up the people in his life that help with this. And guys, I know it's important to have an important support system in trading, and they may not even be traders, right? If you're doing this with the support of your spouse, if you're married, family members, whatever the case may be. But yeah, even just having somebody to blow off steam with at you get Friday, you go, maybe you go grab a beer or two with a buddy and just, I had a great week, I had a shitty week, whatever it is, right? Having that support system it's not, of course, it's not just in trading, but we're not life coaches, so we're not going to get heavy into that. But Miriam, that's something I've talked about pretty extensively in other formats, is that how important that is. I got an email many years ago from somebody who she was a woman just out of college. So we're talking like 23, 24. Gosh, this was like 7 years ago. I got this email now that basically said she had decided she wanted to trade. She was getting into it, and her family was just not supportive at all. And they told her she was wasting her time. She was gambling. And that's got to be tough. And I, left the company a few months after, so I wasn't able to stay in touch with this individual. But having an important support system around you for any endeavor, but especially for something that is mentally draining and mentally taxing as trading, is just so important.
Oh my gosh, I know. It really is. Like, it's one of the most taxing things you can do. I mean, it's such a hard way to make easy money, but there's a reason why it's so difficult, right? There's a reason why, when you're talking about doctors or engineers or lawyers, these sort of people go to school for many years in order to get, a paycheck that reflects that. And I think that's the biggest misconception about trading, is that, you know, you can just make these big wins and be okay. No, you'll have days where you're struggling. And I mean, that was very apparent even today when we were talking to Victor's. I mean, he's a very successful trader, but he also has days where he struggles. And I think that's very accurate and very transparent way of showing that, like, it's not always a smooth ride, right? And in trading, it's very unconventional. It's not a normal way to make money. And so you have to put up money in order to make money, which is so different from, you know, a 9-to-5 job where you just you show up and you produce and that's how you get paid. Trading is very much not like that at all. And so it can really take a toll on your mental capital. It can really take a toll on your relationships if you don't get that in check. But again, it is very important to have people that support you and, you know, you can kind of lean on. And that's another thing too, is it's really hard not only to manage your emotions, but be in a position where, you know, you're not having extreme highs and extreme lows, right? Like, even when we talk about, you know, a day like this, for me, that it's a successful day, not only for Monday, but for me, I'm like, I'm happy about today, but I'm also not, you know, shooting high, like, oh my God, yeah, this is great, let's go, like, get crazy with it. No, these are the sort of days, and I've told you guys, these are the sort of days where you take it easy. You go do the boring work on days like this, because you got your serotonin fix for the day, right? And it doesn't even have to be that you made a lot of money. It could be that you just made money on the day. And don't get too excited on days like this, because the moment you do, it can instantly be taken away from you. So you don't want to have these extreme emotions, swings in emotions, where one day you're on cloud 9. Oh yeah, I just made a big win. Let me just spend all this money that I made. And then the next day you just lose all of it. You have to set yourself up for the long term and look at it as like, all right, I made good money today. Let me not get too ahead of myself. I had my serotonin fixed for the day. Let me do something that is more relaxing. Let me relax my body and my bring me back to homeostasis. And then tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow I start at 0, right? Because tomorrow could be a red day. And on days like that, I think on days like that, you know, not only do you want to rely on your support system, but you also want to treat yourself a little bit, right? The red days are when you treat yourself. Not the green days. The red days are when you treat yourself. The red days are when you take care of yourself. You know, treat yourself to an extra matcha. Go, you know, get that extra guac from Chipotle. Whatever, right? Those are the days that you take care of yourself. So you need to save your energy for those days, because it's not gonna do you well in the long term when you're swinging both ends. Oh, extreme highs and extreme lows. You gotta bring yourself to a balance.
Yeah, I think the best traders that I've met in my life, if you talk to them an hour after they're done trading every single day, you wouldn't have a clue how they did. Good or bad.
I wholeheartedly, some of the best traders I know could make their biggest days and their family would have no idea. And that's the level I want to get to. Like my fiance actually has no idea sometimes, like if I did well or if I did wrong, if I did bad. He's like, how'd your day go? And I'm like, great. I had a really big day. He's like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, and I'm like, yeah, it's great. It's, you know, or I'll have a really bad day and he's like, oh, how was your day? And I'm like, trash.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and it's interesting because, you know, I've always used like baseball terminology to talk about trading, right? Just because, you know, especially a lot of us can relate to it. But, you know, trading is one of those things where, yeah, you can have a great day and you can give it all back the next day, right? It's one of the things that in baseball, if you hit 3 home runs in one game, they don't take them back the next game if you go 0 for 4, right? So, you know, that's one of the things that's so difficult about trading is you can have a great week. And then I think we've had some people in the chat alluding to this, and then just blow it all up. You can lose 5 days of profit. So I do want to address Yamil Trades 500, because you've been expressing some frustration in the chat. And first of all, I just want to say it's okay. Don't give up. Just stick with it. Frustration is natural, but don't get into the victim mindset, right? You said these markets are playing games to fuck over retail traders. The markets do not care about retail traders. The market makers, the big boys, they do not care about us, right? They are never out to specifically get us. They just don't care, right? Like that's putting a level on the market makers that's just not there. So just be careful with that mindset, because it can lead to a victim mindset where it's not because you're not trading well or you didn't have good entries, your position size it was because the market screwed me over. No, and I understand, I'm not getting on you. I understand the mentality. I had it as well. But at some point you just gotta deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, and just, you know, get back to that. Yeah, and if you're trading in an eval or something like that, you're not in the markets anyway. You're in a sim environment. But I understand the mentality. But again, guys, the retail traders are dropping the bucket in some cases, less than that, drop in the ocean as far as the volume and the algos and the HFTs. So just today is no different than any other day. You trade your setups. You stick to what to what works for you. And if you don't know what works for you, that's what you got to get to.
Guys, how dare you? Like, I go to the toilet and I come back and you're dropping fucking gold, both of you. What's happening here?
No one asked you to drink 3 gallons of water before the market started.
Yeah, and why do you got to leave, bro? You got empty bottles right there. I'm just saying.
That's what almost happened on the first stream, not gonna lie. When Drew took some time.
Just get a funnel and you're fine. I don't see what the problem is.
I actually had a back surgery like 11 years ago, and I laid in bed for I think 3 days. I couldn't move, and I did have that, and it was actually great. Like,
oh my god,
it was amazing.
Wow.
That's a very interesting.
Thank you for tuning in for today's episode of Too Much Fucking Information. But
you know what? Let's actually transition to the marbles race here.
Even background Nick's got to chime in on that.
What?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh Lord.
Let's do another marble race. We gotta come up with a great keyword, guys. Who has a keyword?
How about P break?
Well, now you spoiled it. Now we can't use that. Oh
man. Yeah.
Oh well. I have one. Simple. Very simple.
P. People are actually typing it in.
There's some other streams going, you won't believe the shit they were talking about on Tradeify today.
Yeah.
And we'll say we weren't talking shit. We were talking about piss. It's a different.
Yes. I think we should really transition to that marble race now.
Everyone at Tradeify that participated in our hiring is second guessing themselves right now.
But guys, let's actually do this for this last giveaway, because you're all showing up and because you're all here and because we just hit 13,000 subscribers, we're gonna do 3 25K straight to funded accounts. All right.
Ooh,
instead
nice.
of growth and advanced, we're gonna do 3 25K straight to funded. So this is gonna be a good one. We just have to set everything up here on the back end, and then as soon as we do have that ready, we're gonna do a good marble race. Yeah.
I'm gonna just spit out my matcha.
Oh man. Can we get a one with a high death rate, please, Drew? All right.
Nick woke up and shows violence today.
We gotta shout out Drew too. Drew is just like killing it in the back as well. Like Drew, the thing I love about Drew is he's such a stoic guy, but he's like actually a fucking comedian. Like he's hilarious.
He is hilarious.
So shout out to you, Drew, for just always killing it in the back and making
and Nick as well. These two guys are
it's a duo.
fucking phenomenal. So all right, we have the keyword.
Enough to deal with us every day. So.
But Miriam, you're gonna announce that keyword because you came up with it. I'm gonna call you out on that one.
Call me out. All right, guys, ready? The keyword is bucket.
You have to like the stream. You have to type bucket only once, not twice, not 3 times, just once.
Bucket with no S at the end. It's just bucket.
Singular. There's
Just
somebody that never watched us before that said, I think I'll check out Tradeify TV like 10 minutes ago. And they're like,
yeah.
Wait, what?
Unsubscribe.
Yeah. We're now back under 13K.
Oh, gosh. Drew just sent us, oh, you guys are in for a treat.
Oh, man.
Our background chat is going insane right now.
He says, I can't guarantee there will be even 3 winners, but we'll see.
Well, if there aren't 3 winners, we'll just run it twice. That's what's gonna
The
happen.
name of this, marble race is what's killing me right now.
What is it? Oh, I just saw it.
That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, okay, I just saw it. Nice. All right, we see a lot of buckets in the chat.
Drew, you can answer in our chat behind the scenes, but how many of these how many different courses are there?
How many marble races?
Yeah, how many different marble courses are there? I'm very curious, like when we're going to be repeating. Well, he says, I have no idea.
Oh, it's like a community of people can make them.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Oh, can we get some Tradeify users to make some marble races?
That'd be great to do some with some Tradeify logos in the background. I don't know if they let you do
That
that.
would be sick. Imagine
That
like
would
a
be-
Tradeify
That would be
TV
cool.
marble race.
If we could get like a big picture of Brett in the background, like going like that. Or Brett probably would like to be on the course just swatting the marbles.
Yeah,
Yeah, probably that.
He's just one massive marble that you have to get through. I love
All
it.
right, whenever we're ready, we're gonna pull up the marbles here on screen. Oh, there we go. Drew is on fire today.
Yeah.
And yeah, as we now do it, we're gonna have the Mario Kart countdown, and then let's run it. Top 3 is gonna get a 25K straight to funded account each if we have a top 3. Maybe only one will make it, if even.
What is this flamingo shit on the screen right here?
Death rate is 99%. So Drew, run it. Let's see. Straight into the flamingo. Miriam, let them know what's the name of the race.
The name of this race is Classic Yeeting Cacophony. Oh my
There we
God.
go. There they go.
These sound effects.
That's my revenge for only making $4 today.
Oh, this is
Pure
awesome.
chaos.
We love it. Whoop. There they go. There's the classic eating. Oh, damn. We have Taylor in the lead. Bob Shen in the lead. Oh, Bob Shen in the lead still. Ray,
Come on,
We
Taylor.
don't
You
have
can
any
all-
winners.
probably not. Where's the finish line even? Oh, they're
Who
not even
knows?
there yet, and they're already dying. Donna H in the lead. Somebody's still commenting bucket. Guys, make sure you're live. And you see that red dot next to your live. Ray Gantalao. leads.
YouTube is not great in terms of that, guys. If you click off the screen, sometimes it'll pause it, or if you get more than a couple seconds behind, it will little red dot will next to live will not be there. So make sure you see that.
Man, this
Only
is
18
relentless.
people left, guys. Only 18 left. Oh, shit.
Oh no!
12
People
people
getting
left.
close and just getting flipped off the track.
8 people left. Are we going to have a winner? 5 people,
man.
4
Drew
people
wasn't
left.
lying.
Drew, you got to pull up the next race. We got to run it again, I believe. Never mind.
Is
no.
anyone gonna win this?
Let's just pull up another map with less death rate. I think that was too brutal. Steven is still on. Steven is the last one. If he survives,
You know
he's
what?
going to win
Yeah.
this.
Where
So
is
Steven,
he?
if you're in the chat,
Steven's stuck.
Steven, if you're in the chat, let us know.
Oh, the fire's
least
going to
he's
get him in a
stuck.
minute.
Yeah, the fire is coming. Oh,
We're coming
Oh.
for you, Steven.
is Steven gonna make it? Is Steven gonna make it?
Slow and steady might win the
He's
race.
still on it. Steven is still on it. Oh, is Steven gonna make it?
Oh my goodness.
Or is he gonna get yeeted off the course here?
Oh no.
Oh,
Yes,
oh.
Steven.
No.
Yeah, Drew, pull up another one. We need less death rate. That was too brutal. That was too brutal.
Thank goodness the action is sucks right now because I had looked at a chart for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, we need another one.
Dude, we lost all 300 there. 99% my ass. That was 100.
Yeah, this is just 0%.
Yep.
Oh man, but that was fun. That was a nice
Great.
laugh. I told you guys it's nice to laugh.
Yeah, imagine we just go like, oh yeah, nobody made it, so we're not gonna give away any accounts. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna run it again. We gotta have 3 winners
Oh,
here.
man.
And background Nick, spot on. Market is boring equals marbles and giveaways. That's how we do it at Tradeify TV.
Oh, that was great.
So whenever ready, Drew, pull up another race, and we're gonna run this again.
He's going to choose one with like another, like 99.9%.
Yeah, it's the same code, so same participants.
I would have died if it said buckets on there. I don't even know what it says.
Burley something.
Kill Burley? Oh,
Let's
geez.
run him. That marble sound effect on the wood. Yo, what the fuck?
What?
What is happening? Yeet. I can't see anything anymore on my screen. Marbles broke my screen. It's all blurry and pixelated.
Oh, it looks like. Yeah, it's blurry for me too, but.
Another rejection.
by match.
Small rejection at 22K here, guys.
The good old 22K rejection.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's kind of similar to the previous course rejecting the marbles going to the finish line.
Yeah, there you go.
We're down to 130 people. Top 3 is going to get a 25K straight to funded account each.
Nice.
I think on this one we are going to get 3.
What in the Alice in Wonderland is going on here?
Cool. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, they need to make it. Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay, I see. So Jennifer, Myra, congratulations. First place. Andres M. And then Mariam. Oh, Mariam, congrats. Mariam
Oh.
Abrar. These are the 3 people. Jennifer, Myra, Andres M, Mariam Abrar. You all won a 25K straight to funded account. Make sure to type something in the chat really quick so we see you're there. And also make sure that you put your email address into the YouTube channel description so we see it and actually can reach out to you. I see Jennifer in there. Congratulations.
congratulations.
The other 2. Mariam Abrar is there. Congratulations, Mariam.
Yay.
Believe me,
That's
it's not
awesome.
our Mariam. And then we also need Andres. Oh, he's also there. Congrats, guys. All 3
Yay.
25K straight to funded accounts claimed. Congrats. And also Elon, congrats. You won earlier. So
How fun. I love that.
make sure to add your email addresses to your YouTube channel description so we can find you and reach out to you. And at this point, Matt, I think it becomes time that you do that announcement that you teased all the time today, no?
Well, I think what we're gonna do right now, I was just thinking about this. Maybe we'll pop around with one more look at the charts here from all 3 of us, and then once that's done, we will get to say our goodbyes, and we will kick it to Miriam for the last word as we usually do, and let her make the announcement since she was just killing it with the trades today. A short and a long and over 3K profit. We got to let her do it then. So, but first, why don't we start with you, Nick? Why don't the 3 of us just go around really quickly and kind of look at the chart and maybe some possibilities of some setups this afternoon or some specific things that we're looking at.
Wait, you want me to start? Sorry, I missed that part.
Yes, I would like you to start.
All right.
I would also like you to pay attention when I'm talking, damn it.
I did pay attention, but you cut off on my end, so I wasn't sure if you said Nick or not. But
Did it cut off, or were you squeezing in another bathroom break under the desk there?
It cut off, actually.
You heard bucket. You're like, that's actually a really good idea.
All right, so today, I mean, guys, we had the chat predicted when we did the poll if we are bullish or bearish for the day. The majority said bullish, and that's exactly what happened. We had a bit of a sell-off here right at open. We went down for about 100 points, a bit more. And then we shifted the trend, pretty much a fake out of that trend line that we drew during the pre-market wake up. And then after we had the 15-minute range formed, we had some sort of a little bit of a consolidation here, then broke through it. And that was when I took my first bull flag trade here, which at that point, Miriam was long gone. Like she was already in it since 867. So really, really great trade there, Miriam. I got stopped out break even. Unfortunately, I made my $4. I can buy half a Big Mac today. And then it ran for another 100 points, and now it's just consolidating in between the areas of 22,018 and 21,950. So let's see where it takes us in the afternoon session. But for now, that's my view. I'm not going to take any trades anymore. I'm super green on the day from the London session, not from the $4, obviously. But yeah, Matt, let's kick it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I said earlier, and it kind of played out. It's we basically retraced to this +1 standard deviation. So for me, the +1 standard deviation is sort of the line in the sand as far as the bulls maintaining control of the market. Again, we can't seem to really get a strong push above 22,000. Now, 22,000 as a line is not necessarily acting as resistance, but it's definitely an area on the chart. We bounce over to the 4-hour here, and it's a little above the midway point of this zone as well, right? So top of this zone, 22,200, bottom of the zone, 21,600. Guys, that's actually a very small range for the NQ when you're talking about we basically, with a couple of short exceptions, been in this range for the most part since breaking out of this prior zone back on June 3rd. And other than a couple of taps below it and one tap above it, we've been in this zone. That's a 600 points considering the chaos that we've seen in the markets is a very tight range. So it's again, very much a see green, take green mentality. We're heading back towards the +1 standard deviation here, guys, but I haven't been impressed with any of the price action we've seen since that Miriam caught that initial move up. So for me, I would love to see a move all the way back down the VWAP. I just don't know that we're going to get it, or at least, I don't typically trade power hour. So I don't know if we get it before then, but again, this is going to be a macro fundamental week, guys. So we need to be very, very careful of kind of what we're looking at. Miriam, anything to look at before we start to say our goodbyes?
Yeah, really just consolidating on a smaller time frame. When we look at this area, this 22,000 is very, very strong. You can see every attempt that we've made to push above it on the 5-minute, we just can't get above it. So again, key area for me, I have 22,004 as my level, so a little bit above 22,000. But again, it's all the same general area. But again, that's going to be something I look for. I think the more that we keep banging our heads into this, we have a big seller sitting here that is just like, you shall not pass, and very clearly doing that. So again, 22,000 for any upside move. Otherwise, yeah, this same area, this 950 area is going to be key for me. This trend line to me is not really significant anymore. Though we are starting to make these pushes up. So I don't think right now, from what it looks like, I think we do want to, start coming back down here, maybe testing this 950, otherwise coming back down to like the 930, 920 area. If we can't hold that area, I think we start drifting lower here and possibly breaking VWAP here around the, let's call it 900 level, as we start to trail this up a little bit more. ES is also kind of struggling at this 950, or I'm sorry, the 60-50 area. You can see here we've been making these moves to the upside, but not any continuation. And you'll notice the same thing on the NASDAQ if I zoom out to the one hour chart here. But these wicks are not very enticing to me. I know I keep trying to root for the bulls here, but not really a fan of these top look above and fails of these highs. And again, I think that level on ES is going to be 60-60 that we start to kind of keep in mind. Same thing with SPX is that 6,000 level to keep in mind as well when we're looking at ES. So again, for me, those are kind of the levels I would be looking for the week. Now, again, we had a lot of things come out today or over the weekend, and just things to keep your head on a swivel for. But these lower areas are going to be coming into interest for me later on in this week. But let's pull up the leaderboard real quick and show how some of our traders are doing here. So we got our trader ranking here, top 10 live funded traders. in this year. So Patrick Whelan's still taking the lead here. We got I can't see the chart right now. Marietta S like taking second place, and then Mohammed D is taking third. So you can see here, these are our top funded traders, live funded traders. You guys can still get on this leaderboard if you show consistency, and you can still be on here. So that's something I wanted to mention. But also our guest from earlier, Victor, shout out to Victor for making also a massive trade today. I know he said he was coming for my P&L, but he blew my P&L out of the park. $7,300 on the day across all his accounts. Congratulations, Victor, if you are listening. We got to have you back on here, my G. We got to have you back so we can see your trades for the day. But congratulations. I believed in you. So gotta just wait for that right setup to take place, and we'll have to have him back on to talk about hopefully we can take a trade with him in the future.
Absolutely. So guys, I think it's time for us to say goodbye for the day. So we'll bring it around the horn, and then Miriam will finish us off today with a huge announcement about the future of Tradeify TV. So as far as I'm saying, guys, I just want to, I know we've got a couple of frustrated people in the chat that are thinking about giving up. Don't quit. Take an hour away from the markets, take a deep breath. If you're that frustrated, you probably shouldn't trade the rest of today, but take tonight, mentally reset yourself. I'm not saying you got to jump right back in tomorrow. Frustration is natural. We've all been there, literally every one of us. I came within 2 or 3 days of quitting at one point when about 4 months into my trading career. But you stick with it, you get where you're going to go. Just don't throw good money after bad. Maybe take a few days off. Maybe take the week off if you feel mentally that you need it. But guys, this is nothing good comes easy, right? It's the grind in this is mentally and at times even physically exhausting. But again, you've got to be stubborn enough to not quit, but not so stubborn you're not willing to make a lot of changes. So there needs to be some changes. So stick with it, and you guys will be there. So that's it for me. I'll kick it over to Nick, and I'll just say I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason why I'm a bit distracted here, I actually took another short right while you were speaking. There was a little bear flag opportunity. I'm already break even on it, so it doesn't even matter that much. But I think you can see my charts here. I'm going for almost 20 points on 3 contracts, and then maybe I can trail this if we go further down. But anyway,
we just had a big Trump tweet here, guys. Did I hear former President Medvedev from Russia casually throwing around the N-word, and then he puts nuclear in quotation so we know what we're talking about, and saying that he and other countries would supply nuclear warheads to Iran? Did he really just say that, or is it a figment of my imagination? If he did say that, please let me know immediately. The N-word should not be treated so casually. I guess that's why Putin's the boss. By the way, if anyone thinks our hardware was great over the weekend, far and away the strongest and best equipment we have, 20 years advanced over the peak, is our nuclear submarine. They are the most powerful and lethal weapons ever built, and just launched 30 Tomahawks. All 30 hit their mark perfectly. So in addition to our great fighter pilots, thank you to our captains and crew. And more explosions are being heard in southwest Iran. So apparently things are picking up over there. So everyone be careful.
Well, a bit of a weird tweet given the circumstances, but
really,
I mean, it is what it is. Oh well. Anyways, guys, I just hit my first TP here. So
nice.
That is good too. I'm just gonna have my stop break even here for the remaining 2, but that means I'm up more than $4 for the day during the Tradeify TV session. Let's go. All right, guys. But for real, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for showing up every day. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, making your fun comments, asking good questions in the chat. We absolutely love doing this show, and it's because of you. We're doing this for you. And the more this grows, the more generous Brett is going to be. That I know for sure. And that means share this with your friends, your family, with your loved ones, with everybody, so that they too can benefit from this show. But as usual, we're going to kick it over to the one and only Curly Trader, Matcha Mommy. You can do the end.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, congratulations on this trade. I'm seeing a lot of selling pressure coming in, so hopefully this gives you everything you're looking for. Congratulations to everyone who made a profit today. If you didn't, that's absolutely okay. It's still Monday. There's still so much room left in this week. But one of the things that we do have to announce for you guys, drum roll please. I wish I had my little soundboard, but super exciting that we are actually going to be coming on here with you guys for an extra hour. So starting on Wednesday, we're going to be coming on from 8:30 Eastern, and we're going to be staying on with you guys for an extra hour. So we're here for until what is that time? I'm seeing 9:30 West Coast, but it's gonna be what,
8:30 to 12:30.
12:30. Got it. Perfect. So we are going to be on here for an extra hour with you guys, hopefully catching these moves, because apparently a lot of these moves happen when we get off. So we don't want to miss them.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't want to miss them. But we are excited to be on here with you guys and go over the markets and have more guests. We have a lot more packed in for you guys this year alone. I mean, we just started. We're just getting started. So make sure that you tell your mom, your neighbor, your friend, your goldfish wife's cat, everyone who needs to know about the stream, and make sure you are subscribed and that you like this channel so that we can continue providing more value to you guys every single morning. We love you guys. As always, go practice gratitude. Go tell someone you love them. Maybe hug a stranger. I don't know. Do whatever you want, but make sure that you are living this life full of fulfillment. And we will see you tomorrow, bright and early, 8:30 Eastern. We love you guys. Enjoy your day. Go be great.
See you guys.